Nate, was good, nasty Nate.
How you doing? What's up, Zay?
What's going on, Nate? Hey, how you doing, brother? How's going on?
Look at that lineup on that beard, man.
You know,
East Coast style. Come on, man.
that's all about.
That's
Puerto Rican Dominicans got the job done.
Bro, they take like 30 minutes on the lineup alone.
They're
one guy. Well, there's one dude, he would start with the lineup, but he wouldn't, before he even cut my hair, he would start with the lineup and he'll make sure he'll step back and come back and get to him. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to stop you, man. Get that lineup right.
Zayd, where are you from originally?
I'm Syrian. I'm Syria. Yeah.
I was just saying, because I know a lot of like Turkish guys are really good too. I heard at like barbers and stuff like that. They're very fine detailed.
Oh, yeah. Syrians and Turkish people are very good barbers. Very good barbers. Yeah.
You came straight from Syria to LA, or did you live anywhere else?
I lived in England for a year and a half or 2 years.
Right, yeah. Uh-huh.
And then after England, I said, fuck this shit. It's too cold, man. I got to go somewhere sunny. So I came to the total opposite, which is LA.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot. I had you on a podcast, but before you turned pro, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You talked about that. I didn't know any of that because I don't hear any like UK accent on you.
I was too young to pick it up anyway. You know.
Yeah. But honestly, your accent, like unless you know you're Arab, it doesn't really sound Arab. Like when I first met you, I couldn't pick it up. I'm like, yo, I can't tell where the accent is from. Do you speak other languages or not with either?
I speak and write Arabic. And growing up, I learned French, but I don't practice it anymore. But it's all thanks to my mom, dude. She put me in an American school since I was a kid. So she paid extra to put me in an American school where all the, ambassadors' sons and people like that, they go to that school. So that helped my English a lot, helped my English tons,
Yeah.
You have to wear uniforms there?
We didn't. It's the only school that had no uniform.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
I thought Zayd was white, bro, when I first met Zayd. I thought he was like French, German or some shit. I don't know what the fuck I thought he was.
Yeah, dude. I pass as white only when I'm shredded. When I get fatter and my beard comes out, you can see the Habibi right away.
Habibi. They say on the contrary, everyone thinks Stu is I don't know, Asian or something. Is that the word on the street?
Oh yeah, go ahead, guess. This is always fun.
What's up, Stu? Yeah. I thought Stu was like at least like half or quarter Asian or something. I didn't know what I thought Stu was.
No?
Hey Stu, are you
more guesses?
Definitely the more hair, though, I would say it accentuates that. I feel like with the more hair you have.
Yeah,
I think so. Because he
gets very quiet.
He gets like the curly fro going.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're around Stu, before you say anything racist, you gotta eye him a little bit. Be like, I don't know if I'm comfortable. I don't know how. you gotta be like, You good, Stu? Are we cool?
You better be ready to go because like I'm coming right back at you. Something worse.
Yeah. I did do the DNA test, and it was 25% Caucasian and 75% Arab. They had me spinning in a cup for a day, and then you send the spit in, and you answer about 40 million questions after you submit it. And then a couple days later, they send you your DNA genetics. I'm not sure how accurate that is. It's just the most accurate there is right now. Yeah.
Bro, part of me feels like they just send you some random shit.
Yeah, they could just make shit up. Like they could say you're like a 16th Cherokee and get some fucking scholarship or something. No,
because in my head, I'm like, why do they have to ask you questions if it's a DNA? Like, what? Why do you need to answer questions for it? They're trying to pick your brain see what's gonna work. Like
it sounds like he believes he's this already. So
yeah,
exactly.
Go ahead and give Stu like Give Stu like 20% Nigerian. You know, he hear it.
I've earned it.
Yeah, he earned it by now. Stu, you look a little choppy. You look like an Android phone or something.
Hey,
take it easy.
Oh, let me try a different chord.
I bet.
Please.
Yo, Zayd, did you start the off season?
I did. This is my third day today.
Okay. What's the game plan for the off season?
The first 2 months, I'm doing tests at 200 milligrams a week. I know it's very low, but my body will respond from just a little bit. I haven't been taking tests for months, brother. And the calories are pretty much around 4,000 or 4,200.
See, I would have flipped it. I would have had the test at 4,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
my body, good to be back on this shit. I can't wait to.
Bro, I was gonna say, how do you feel? Because you're not really training as much. It sounds like, and like you get soft and stuff, or do you feel like deflated, like not being on tests and training as much, or how is that coping with that?
I feel very flat. I feel the pumps are shit. The recovery rate is shit.
Yeah.
My strength is in the gutter. Everything took a toll, but I understand that it's gonna be better for later. I've always done either a cut cycle, if I may, or an off. So there's no off-season cycle yet. This is my first time doing a cycle with the off-season. So I'm excited to see where it goes. As long as I see my abs, I'm okay with that, you know? I don't care for anything else.
Zayd is a very patient, right?
Yeah.
And he's always on time. So you'll see him 20 weeks out. I'm loaded up and shit 20 weeks out like this. I'm looking at it. I'm like, are you 20 weeks out? Okay. You see him 16 weeks out. You're like, He moving a little slower than I thought. And then 12 weeks out, you're like, okay, I'm starting to see something. And by show day, lo and behold, he's right on target. You know what I'm saying? It's like Nate is kind of like that too. Nate kind of just moved at a very even pace. It's not like any crazy highs and lows. You won't see Nate fucking at 320. And it's, it's kind of like, but Zayd always paces himself nice and even. Are you on cycle yet? Nah. I'm gonna start cycle, maybe 12 weeks out. I'm like, okay, damn, okay.
Prep starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm planning to do this calcium test score before I blast stuff.
Yeah.
Because all my friends did it, so I feel responsible to do it too before I start messing with the big stuff, So 200 mgs a test, I don't think that would hinder anything.
No,
it's just going back to the baseline, basically. But yeah, I want to get that test first. I want to donate some blood. And then do blood work again. I already did blood work. I just want to do it again just to make sure everything's good. And then we'll fly, my friend. We're going to fly high. I decided to take 2 years off. So this year and next year off. So I'll come back in 26. I'm going to be a fucking bulb muscle, bro. That's all my life is going to be about. Bulking. I did my family obligation. I did everything. I'm going to sit home, eat until I puke, train as hard as I can. And just sleep and grow like a fucking mass monster as much as I can.
You know what the funny thing is like you seem so like reserved and conservative, but at the same time you're not. You know what I mean? Like the rice off the floor. I heard that story.
Oh yeah,
like a hardcore dude, but you're also like, you know what I mean? You're like with the gear.
Bro, it's kind of a problem for me, honestly. All my life, I don't know gray area. I know extreme end. Right or extreme left. I can't be in the middle. So I'm either fat and I'm not taking drugs, or I'm taking all the drugs and I'm shredded to the bone. One or the other. So it works well because I know when I turn it off. Right. So it's okay for me.
Now he's about to be fat and taking all the drugs, which is a very good combo.
It's a new gray.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta learn how to dial it down, like how to just be more even killed. Just follow the plan, take it easy, believe in the plan, and stop being so fucking I feel like I get so extreme that it's not a good thing. I don't think it's always a good thing. I mean, I know Zayd was extreme early on, but see, it didn't work for you. You tried being super extreme, right? It didn't really help you.
In what aspect are you talking about? The drug aspect?
Well, everything. Didn't you used to do like you used to do high drugs, high cardio, right? You used to like just push everything to the brim, and that
Yeah.
wasn't your best looks, but not even close, right?
Only because I was feeling pressured all my life since I've been to the US to turn pro. That was the first objective. Now that I did this, I don't have somebody after me anymore, in my head at least. So
Yeah,
I'm taking my time. I'm really taking my time.
So being
yeah.
out there, do you find more pressure because you're around all these guys? You know what I mean?
I was the only amateur in Venice from the group, so I was
Yeah,
always like fuck,
Right.
and then I made a pro out of myself, and then I can take some time off.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
yeah. That's basically the way I feel now. I feel like everybody I know is a pro. Everybody I grew up with, like Nate, I've been knowing Nate since my first show, right? So everybody I grew up with, everybody I know is a pro, because everybody's a pro. So I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm, and
well,
people who don't know me that well, they're like, hey, yeah, you're pro, right? Yeah, this guy's a pro. Or they introduce me as a pro. I'm like, no, I'm not a like my brother. Like, yeah, he's a pro bodybuilder. I'm like, nah, bro. Don't say that.
well, the ball's in your court, bro.
Yeah, it is more of a, so some things are you just gotta see it through, but
There's another gentleman that is a pro-worthy physique, but never had his pro card yet. Francisco. I'm sure you know him from Goals
oh, of
Venice.
course. Well, he should have got it that year Stu won. He should have won that with all due respect to the winner of the
in the
heavyweight class.
heavies? Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
him.
yeah. He should have.
Really nice guy. Really nice guy.
He was really pissed, but he conducted himself properly. But I could see why he was pissed, bro. Like he was shredded. He was peaked perfectly. He had everything he needed, and he's been trying for a long time, and he's always close. I said on the Canadian Beef Podcast, that's my biggest fear. I remember Zay said something similar to me, like always being like in the mix and never getting the pro card. That shit is rough, bro. Like you see really good guys, bro. Like you said, Francisco, really good guys, always right there. Oh, second, third. Well, that happened to Nate, right? Nate was like second, third, fourth, second, third, and then it's like, oh man,
He's been
get his
trying
man.
since 08, since 2008.
Yikes. 08, bro.
Holy
shit.
Dude. That's why I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Francisco guy?
Yeah.
What?
He's
Bro,
not as young as he looks.
I was in middle school in 2008. What?
Yeah. He's like 40. He looks like he looks younger than us, but he's like 40, right?
He's 35, 36.
Oh, well, he started young as hell. Holy shit.
Yeah, he moved to America very young from Spain, and he came here to be a pro bodybuilder since day one. Even when he was younger, he was fantastic. I don't know how this guy is not a pro yet. He's always showing up to the biggest shows where you find a freak like Stu, stuff like that. But so he's always getting second, third, fourth, but never first.
Part of me respects that because he's from Spain. He can go to the Arnold Amateur in Spain if he wanted to, right? But it's like he's like, fuck that shit. Like he wants it. He wants it the big way, So you got to respect that. You know what I'm saying? Because he never just like pro card chases. He does the big shows, like you said. So part of me, I'm always gonna respect that.
Yeah,
right.
Me too.
Let's get into some news. Anything new with you, Nate? Did you pick a show?
Yeah, I think actually Vancouver. Yeah, you're going.
Yeah, dude, that's like 2 hours from me, bro.
Yes. Oh, that's sweet. That's awesome. It's still beautiful up there too in the summer.
Yeah.
Just a nice trip.
When is that? When is Vancouver?
July 13th or 14th, I think.
Yeah, 14th. It's on a Sunday.
Okay. So we got the Arnold coming, then there's Detroit, then New York.
Yeah.
There's Brazil, Arnold Brazil in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, UK. Well, you got the UK, then you got the Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Then you got New York, then you got Cal, then you have Tampa.
No, there's Cal and then Toronto 2 weeks after that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then there's 3 European shows. And then there's Vancouver, Chicago, Tampa, and Texas.
Look at those hands.
The Dubai Pro somewhere in there.
Stu's hands look like that bully in middle school. That you got that bully, but you got the real like big fat hands.
Thanks,
you
dude.
take that. Everybody had that bully that had that big ass fist to hit you with that. It's over for you.
A cartoon.
But speaking of the shows, let's see. Nick throws his
New York.
head. Yeah. The funny part, he told Stu that, and we thought it was a joke. We kind of laughed it off, like, oh, he's just messing with you, Stu. But he's actually doing it in New York.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know with Nick, bro. You never know with this guy, man.
I honestly thought he would have done like Texas or something like at the end of the year and then just go to Olympia, you know what I mean? But
honestly, I thought he was just gonna get an invite. I'm sure, like, because they say you have to ask. I believe Don Solomon said you have to ask. Bro, Nick is not gonna ask he's not gonna ask for anything. You know what I'm saying? So if they would have reached out to him, I'm sure he would have taken it. But Nick isn't about to go reach out and call you, but like, hey, give me an invite. You know he's not gonna do that. If I was there, I probably would have done that.
Yeah, I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah. You want to take a shit? All right. Let's see. You guys all saw this video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect that. If I was in his position, I wouldn't either. So, but a lot of these guys don't want to like get a chance to like lose to someone. But Nick, I don't think will lose to anyone on the regular circuit. Like not even close, So
no, this is where the confidence comes in. Like Nick's confidence is like unwavering. So it's like most people, like, yeah, that you should win, but part of you is like, oh, but what if I don't? You know what I'm saying? But I don't think Nick's brain works that way. I don't think he has any doubt he's taking the win in any show he does, honestly. And he shouldn't have any doubts because, I mean, Nick is very hard to beat. I mean, there's maybe 3 people in the world who are capable of beating Nick at this point. So he should have the supreme confidence. I mean, he could win Arnold. Just because Samson won last year doesn't mean he can't. So, I mean, he should believe that every show is his.
I had Nick winning that Arnold, actually.
A lot of people did. But like last year, judging, at least they kept it. At least they kept it even, right? So even though in years past Nick would have won with that look, right? But last year when you see like Keon beating Sean, you see even Derek beating Hadi, like you see they kind of kept the trend. Even go to nationals, even Trevor beating Justin White, you kind of see that trend, right? Whereas in the past they would usually go with the biggest, hardest guy. But now it's kind of like they're thinking, this guy still has better shape. And so, at least they kept it consistent. But in years past, I think Nick would have won that show. Samson looks insane, though, obviously.
So you guys think they're not judging muscle as heavily as they used to? Like, let's say you use a percentage. It was a pretty big, I feel like a heavy score. I feel like maybe it's not quite as urgent or like important, I guess, It's still obviously important, but.
Well, yeah, because the guys winning, they're still heavily muscled, right?
I mean,
it's
Ross
just that
won shows and they're like 220, 230. Like that's unheard of in the past. I feel like
good
Ross
point. Good. Yeah,
but I mean, it's all about who you're standing next to. But I guess Ross is more the confusing one. I love the guy, but you know what I mean. But
I know what you mean.
Like next to just a John Del Rosa and a Stan, so it's not like there was some mass monster.
But in the past judging, let's say 5 years ago, I don't think Ross beats Stu. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think about it, it's now if Stu is out of shape, is one thing, but Stu look at Stu's face. But Stu was in shape, right? So I think they're holding shape. I can't even say structure because structure wise, I think Stu has all the structure. So let's say shape maybe they're holding maybe shape and aesthetics.
The only thing that Ross beat me on was leg size and conditioning, but leg size to the point where he was disproportionately
proportionate.
I don't think they even knock you anymore for having disproportionate body parts. Like, look at how the net guy placed. Like, he is super imbalanced top to bottom. And thanks, Dad.
I mean, you could say Crizzo is not in proportion, really, right?
Yeah, kind of, but like not too bad. I don't know. They just seem to not knock you for that anymore. So
yeah. So I was gonna say they're still looking at size, but they're looking at maybe. Well, I guess I can't say condition because Nick was in better condition. So let's say
if you're trying to find a common thread, you're not going to find one because sometimes this shit doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Good point. But okay, if we're going by, let's say the Olympia winners at least, right? The Olympia winners and the Arnold winners, there was more of an emphasis on balance and shape, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And California is just a weird place with weird people, and weird things happen there, right? We chalk it up to that.
Take it easy, Stu. Take it easy.
Weird is not a negative or a positive thing. It just means it don't make sense.
Good point. Abstract is it's abstract. Yeah. Let's say that. All right. Well, what else we got? The Arnold updates. Netzilla dropped out. I think once we saw him eating that cake, I think it was safe to assume that he was going to drop out, but everybody kind of just pretended like he was going to do it anyway.
Like, is Hadi dropped out too, or is it not really confirmed? Sounds like he can't really see it.
Hasn't been confirmed, but he said he said 7 weeks out, and that was last week. And the Arnold Ohio is not 7 weeks out,
right? So that was half now.
Yeah. So either his math is way off, or it was lost in translation, or he's not doing the Ohio. But they probably don't want him to say it because they're like, bro, we don't need any more dropouts. We're trying to sell tickets here. Just stay quiet until show day.
Not like you're doing it for now.
Yeah, just keep acting like you're doing it, like Netzilla did for a while. But
they shouldn't. Honestly, do you guys think they should invite Martin because he's doing Detroit? I saw.
Bro, it's too close now. I mean, the kind of things like Detroit's like 4 weeks after, or more than that, like 5 or 6 weeks after the Arnold. So like, he's not on track for that right now.
I think Martin should have been invited from the get-go, but I think maybe the I don't know, the chain of command at the Arnold, maybe they don't follow the sport super close. So maybe they're just going by, okay, we hasn't won a show. Okay, no, we're not gonna invite him. So, if you go by the books instead of actually knowing these guys, because if you know these guys, you're gonna invite Martin, right? But they're probably just saying, okay, he didn't compete last year. He didn't win a show. Oh, don't invite this guy. So I think they should have maybe asked around because I think Martin definitely did.
Did Antoine win or compete last year?
No, but he won. He won two shows, I believe. So yeah, but if you're into the sport, you're going to invite Martin because I think Martin can beat most of these guys. Like, let's be real.
He can definitely beat Antoine, I think. I mean, Martin, part of it is because he's made his bed and he has to lay in it. But, they don't really like him.
That PR thing too,
that might be it.
Hurts and stuff.
And it's part of that he's done to himself, but part of it is just kind of unfair, like give the guy a chance to compete and work on his image, because when he's not in the public eye and like the hardcore bodybuilding fans are just following the shows throughout the year and they don't see him, they just assume that the last thing they saw about it, which was him mad that he didn't place where he wanted to in at the Arnold UK. So give him a fucking chance,
I like Martin, man, and honestly, I like his physique as well. I personally believe I personally believe Martin at his best. I mean, especially with the improvements he's made, I think he can beat. He can go as high as well. Everybody dropped out, so if Hadi, he can be as high as third with Hadi in the lineup. I think he's that good. I think he's I think he's capable. I'm not saying he's gonna beat Brandao and Hollingshead and Horse MD, but I think he's has the physique capable of doing so. You know, he gets bursting full, shredded to the ass cheeks, a little bit more muscle. I'm sure he put on. I think he can do as well as anybody personally.
I think the thing too with him is he's very complete. Like legs are insane, glutes are great, back is super dense, chest is super blasting full. Like gets hard. Like, you know what I mean? Like Horse MD, I love him. He's like one of my new favorites, but his back, you know what I mean? Whereas I think is so well rounded. You know what I mean? You'll get by some of those guys.
But like again, I mean they're not rewarding balance as much.
Yeah,
you know, from what I've seen.
I got to be honest. I mean, in some of these shows, though, I'm not sure what they're actually looking for.
And then I was wondering too, like, Akeem was on the list originally, but is he actually doing it? I haven't seen anything. So there's another person that seems iffy.
Oh yeah, good point. And like the last video I saw, man, but it's hard to tell with some of these guys. But it didn't look like he was getting ready for the Arnold. But I mean, I know he was injured in a car accident.
Right.
There's no telling.
Shoulder surgery last year, right?
I wish some of these guys would have more on social media. I know it sucks and it's not fun, but keeping up with these guys would help a lot. Like, you know, who's coaching Akeem? Who's he working with? Is he getting ready for the Arnold? Is he in shape? Is he 5 weeks out? Or is he 7 weeks out like Hadi? You know, like what's
the thing too, some of these older guys, none of these young kids know who Akeem Williams is. You know what I mean? And there's reason for it. He's not present on social media. Unfortunately, that's the day and age, but
it's crazy. Like he has like hundreds of thousands of followers, but like his stuff doesn't get interacted with at all. It's something like I've started noticing on people that I follow, like how many followers they have versus how much comments and likes and stuff that you just kind of take note of it. And it's like these older guys who've been around for a while, their interaction is just shit.
Yeah, bro, you're right. Speaking. And it's like if this was in the past, we used to say, "Oh, that's fake followers," but now it's like, no, they just have no engagement. You know, you go to somebody even like Ulysses or Simeon Panda, right? Guys who have legit crazy following, they don't get engagement. Like I'll see them with like just thousands of likes, where they used to get fucking damn near millions of likes and shit. But a lot of people just don't. I think the newer generation just don't really know. They probably don't even know these people.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. So many accounts are like abandoned or some bots, but also it's like people follow you and they interact with you for who you are. Like they're not going to leave a comment on your post if you're just kind of like an athlete and only an athlete and you only look good. Like you have to have a personality and have something interesting about you that people want to interact with,
Agree. But the good thing about now is that it doesn't have to be like, I felt like 5-6 years ago, it had to be like extravagant, like you would get more followers if you were in a Lamborghini, if you had, the cool outfits on and shit. Well, nowadays, it's not even that. It's literally just you being yourself. Like Stu just being Stu, people want to follow that, right?
I do not own a Lamborghini. I own a broken old Mercedes.
It's like Sam Sulek wouldn't work 6 years ago because people weren't looking for that raw, kind of like that raw, just being yourself. It was more so the fancy edits and slow motion shit and all that, But now you can literally, so bodybuilders have no excuse to do social media now because it doesn't have to be fancy. You can literally just have a fucking tripod sitting there and you just filming raw sets. I noticed I was getting more engagement because at one point I was doing all reels, right? Because that was what you did at that time. And I'm like, these reels aren't doing well. I'm going to just do what the fuck I want. And I just fucking work out. So I'm like, I'm going to just post my workout, raw footage, no fucking edits with a mic on. Because without the mic, it looks like you're not training hard because you can't hear the sounds and shit. So I'm like, I'll put a mic on. And and that gets way more engagement than these fancy reels. It's like, because nobody cares about the slow motion edits. It's like, oh, this guy is actually training hard. Cool. So I think, I mean, that's what Sam does. Sam has the mic and he just works out. Like, Sam isn't trying to entertain you. He's literally just doing what the fuck he does on a daily basis. So
isn't it true that everything comes like full circle? Because I feel like that's how it was like in 2000. Like, remember Jay's videos?
Yeah.
I was like, that was like literally what we're talking about, right? Like,
I fucking loved it. I fucking loved that shit back then. I actually tried to do that, but it didn't work because this was like 5-6 years ago. So I'm like, nobody wants to just see me work out in silence. So I'm gonna just stop posting this shit. But it came full circle. Now that's in again. But I love that shit. Like Maryland Muscle Machine and fucking J to Z and Cost of Redemption. I watch that shit every prep. I watch that shit, man.
Yeah.
All right, who else is doing Arnold? We got I saw Rafa. I like this guy.
Raphael Brandau and
I'm not really sold.
Are gonna be in New York afterwards if they don't. I presume they won't win Arnold, but
they'll probably do Brazil too, right? Arnold Brazil.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Hey man, this year getting to the Olympia is not going to be easy this year. I'll tell you that. Hunter got to qualify again. Andrew got to qualify again. I mean, a lot of people have to qualify again. You got guys like Stu.
Like, it's going to be a rough year for open bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Especially for us mediocre guys.
This is bastard.
You go back like what 4 years ago? Stu would be winning pro shows left and right in this motherfucker. He just pick your show. But this shit,
born too late. Sorry, guys.
Everybody, you should have turned pro at 21. You would have been smoking motherfuckers.
Oh well.
No, but shit is getting deep, bro. Like, I don't know. It's like everybody's.
Think about it from last year. There's probably been 10 or 11 like top, like really good guys that took the year off with like Antoine, James. I don't know if he's going to compete later in the year. Shaban's coming back. I don't know how good he'll be, but there's already 4 people. Nick's doing a show. Like Hunter's got to, like you said, like there's a lot of guys.
Yo, Nate.
Last year.
I know Nate and Zayda's the same age too as us. Remember when you first got into sport, right? Every single year you could predict the top 10 of the Olympia and get it within 2 placings correct. Yeah. Everybody be like, it's going to be Phil, it's going to be Kai, and it's going to be either Sean Roden or Dennis Wolf, and it's going to be Bonac, and we knew the lineup every time. Like nowadays, people can't even get, it's like people pick 20 people to be in the top 10. Oh, he's the top 10 guy. He's the top. I'm like, bro, you just named 10 different people for the top 3. you literally named 15 people for the top 5. Everybody can't be in the top 5. So back then it was so easy. Oh, this guy. Now, bro, we don't know who the fuck. Like, we can make predictions, but it's probably gonna be kind of off. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a great thing.
The hope for guys like me and Nate, who are still like, kind of at the bottom of this pile, like, these guys show up off all the time. Like the top guys are inconsistent, and they look crazy like right now. But I mean, we'll see what he looks like on stage.
Yeah.
No, you're definitely right. That's why Nick is so dangerous. Like we're saying, obviously he's got so much muscle, but the dude is so consistent, right? So he's going to be on whatever show he does. Like,
Well, the good thing that's been happening since like Nick Walker and Andrew and even Hunter and you see with Ross even or Tonio, like the new guys, like if they win, they don't necessarily have to pay dues for the next 5-6 years, right? Like a Bonac was on point for a while, and then he would start at 13th place and then 11th place, and he had to work his way in. And you're looking at Bonac like, yo, Bonac is a top 5 guy, bro. But it took him years to just climb his way up. Whereas now, I think if you really hit it out the park, you'll get the W. You're not gonna have to wait 5 years to get a W. So that's a good thing. But it just so happens that there's so many fucking guys nowadays, like so many good guys that it's still gonna be just as hard to work your way up to the top. But now, if you are a top guy, though, I think it's impossible to not get a slight advantage. You know, if let's say Hadi or Samson coming off, right? It's for you to hop over them. It's still gonna be tough. Let's be real. Even subconsciously, you're looking at those guys to win. So it's gonna be hard for those guys to move down all of a sudden, even if they're, pretty off. So that's one of those things. But it is what it is. If you keep coming back on point, you're gonna get the nod.
And she's 4 weeks out here.
Let me see. Yeah, he said 4 weeks out.
Huh.
I mean, he's not super sliced 4 weeks out.
Like every year, they're like, or every time he comes back, they're like, "Oh, he put on so much muscle," but it's like, I don't know. He looks sort of the same to me. Like more muscle, sure, but not like a dramatic. I don't know if it makes a difference in his look. You know what I mean? That much. You all see him.
Yeah.
I think last Olympia he was like over diuretic like fucking crazy. Like he was in good condition. You could see it in his face, but like I mean he got the aceto treatment.
I know. I think I know what Nate is saying though. It's like you see him in the off season, and it's like, wow, look at all the muscle he put on, and it actually looks like he did. But then as he's coming down, he kind of looks the same, bro. I feel like
I'm not gonna lie, Stu looks bigger than him and harder. You know what I mean? So
Stu is bigger than him, for sure.
I mean,
yeah,
so
Stu
it's
is bigger than him. It's
He's got
like
crazy legs though.
Yeah,
really good legs.
No,
but you know what's crazy? I feel like he's trading a little bit of legs for upper body. You remember when he started, his upper body was like a little smaller, but his legs were stupid. I feel like now his upper seems to have been, I don't know, it seems like it's almost a little ahead of his legs. If it's just me,
I mean,
let me see if I can pull up.
That maybe why he's not as noticeable, right? Because it's sort of like balancing the physique out, and you're like you don't really see it as drastic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he looks pretty proportionate there. I think.
No, he does. That's my point. But when he started, I felt like his legs were a lot ahead of his upper body.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he pulled a little and pushed a little, or maybe he is bigger up top, but we just don't notice it because of course he's bigger than when he started for sure, but it's not from year to year. It's not that drastic because this is 2 years difference,
right?
2022, and I don't know. It's not a crazy huge difference though.
Yeah, I agree.
But everybody can't be Samson,
Well, he's been competing for like 5 or 6 years now. I was watching old Arnold Classic videos, and he was in the 2018 Arnold Classic.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, like I was looking at because maybe it was 2019, 2019, because I was looking at Cedric and Luke on that year, when Luke got third there.
Yeah,
and like,
bro,
he's been around for a while. This guy.
He's been pro for at least 7-8 years. He turned pro at like 22, 23. And Rafa is like, what, 30, 31?
Sounds about right, yeah.
He's been pro. It's like, Regan's been pro for about 9 years.
Yeah.
So it's like Regan's been around for a minute, and he's still a young guy. So a lot of these guys, they start really young. When Rafa started, he looked like a baby.
Yeah,
his head made a lot of progress. His head got a lot bigger.
His head is way bigger, yeah.
Sure, greatly.
Can I find a young he was young here, right? Yeah. Like look at his forehead. It takes a lot of space. And this probably isn't even that old, but you see his forehead is a lot smaller. His face looks more streamlined.
It happens, dude.
It does. Oh, this is probably
that's
but he looks a lot younger though. But he kind of looks like the same physique, no?
That's what I'm saying. That's from like 2 or 3 years ago, right?
It has to be that. Can I pull this out?
Or is that?
Yeah, that was the old Dragons later.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah.
Did they say a date?
They said 115 weeks. Yeah, so 2.5
Whenever.
weeks ago.
Yeah, he kind of looks like the same. Which I don't know. It's not that he should pack on a bunch of muscle right away, but it's going to be hard to continue climbing up as a lot of good guys keep coming in.
We were talking about this in a Discord. Like, what do you guys think, like, using drugs like this, like we do, ages you in the face?
For sure. 100%. 100%.
I don't know if it like ages you or just makes you like significantly more masculine looking, which because like it's growing features on your face that tend to grow with time, like your nose or your chin or your ears, you know. Like if you look at my grandpa, you know, his nose was fucking huge. My dad has a giant nose, but like, and mine will probably look like that eventually, given enough time. But I think it's just speeding that shit up.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to use the word, if you want to use the word masculine to describe ugly, then yeah, you're pretty accurate. Hey. Like let's be real, like none of us are more attractive now than we were 5 years ago. but I mean, beauty is in a.
It's like fine wine.
Yeah,
thank you. I'm about to ruin it.
Yeah.
I feel like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So to some women, we're probably more attractive now. Who the fuck are those women? I don't know, but I'm sure to somebody.
I found one. Good.
Yeah. Like this sounds fucked up, but I gotta be honest. Sometimes I'm shocked when a girl finds me attractive. I'm like, what the fuck? She must be crazy. There must be something wrong with this girl. Fuck, you know? Like,
seriously,
like, she must have some issues. I don't know, but I don't care. Let's go. Let's do it. You know, but like I don't think any of us are like, oh yeah, we look really cute today. Like it's not a thing. Yeah. But like you saw me at 22, like I feel like I was a lot better looking back then. You know what I'm saying? But
me too.
GH changes the structure of the face more than actual gear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why I feel like that's why you're talking about Stu's hands. He's running. What are you running? 12? No,
no. I tried 15. I dropped right back to 10 because I lasted 4 days on this shit.
And like feel like pumped, you know. And
yeah,
you know, when your
everything
hand
was achy and sore and like it just hurt. Bro. It sucked, man.
Yeah. My actual head was smaller, bro. Like I see pictures and my head was tiny. Even my features, like everything, like you said, your nose, your lips, your eyebrows, everything is like was smaller and it gets bigger.
Yeah, but that happens, drugs or no drugs, right? I think it just speeds it up a bit.
It takes longer, yeah.
I think when you see like, you know, the 18, 19-year-old kids commenting on videos like, oh, he looks like he aged 20 years and 2, like, okay, I think you're looking at your peers who are, you know, 16 to 18 and don't even look like they've gone through fucking puberty. You know, they look like boys, not men. I didn't look that boyish when I was like 18 or 19 as guys do now. I don't think I'm just imagining that. Like, I think there's something different about this generation where they're just like softer in the face. But
softer overall.
Yes. And like they're comparing like me, who's almost 30, to like, you know, them who's like 18 or something. Like, yeah, obviously I'm a decade older than you. I'm gonna look different, but also like
you're 290 pounds, like 280 pounds. So it's, you know what I mean? It comes with like, you know.
I think they're just like their perspective is different because all of the people their age are like super soft in the face. It's odd looking. Like you don't see a lot of kids who look like, you know, they're men. You used to see like every once in a while like some freaky looking kid who's like 17. He looks like he's 22. Yeah, you know, just like a more masculine face. You know, without even drugs or anything, right? Yeah. But like, I don't see that shit anymore, dude. It's weird.
Sometimes we give drugs too much credit. Like we had Robin Strand on, and I was like, yo, naturally we would still probably be within 40 pounds of our stage weight. And he was like, well, but he put on 100 pounds. I was like, yeah, but you have to factor in, what if you take out the drugs? You still have 10, 15 years of training your ass off as well without the drugs. So you have to factor that in. So same thing, all this bulking and getting your face fat and then cutting and getting your face drawn in and bulking and cutting with all this food without the drugs, we're still going to age faster. I mean, I would hate to break it to you, but you're still going to age. And even without that, bro, I have classmates who are my age who look like they're 50 because they've been abusing their body with other drugs and drinking and not eating right. So the aging is going to happen, but sometimes we give too much credit. It's like anytime if a bodybuilder, God forbid, a bodybuilder dies at 60 with a heart attack. You know how many men are dying with heart attacks? Every man dies from a heart attack and kidney failure. When it happens is up to your genetics. Like it happens to guys at 50. When you see like DMX or like a rapper die from a heart attack or something at 50, nobody bats an eye. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, DMX also smoked crack like consistently for years.
Bad example. But you see a lot of celebrities, which I'm sure they do recreational drugs, but a lot of celebrities pass away in their 50s. Yeah. And everybody just, oh, so sorry to hear, you know.
Yeah, but they're living a crazy lifestyle, bro. Like, what do you expect? We're living a crazy lifestyle here.
Okay, exactly. Let's say you're not a celebrity. How much? Okay, I'll go to a cardiologist, I don't know, once every couple months. And then you see people sitting there that are not that old. And like, I wonder what he's doing there. But it's like people eat crap. Like the average person is eating shit all day. So men are having heart attacks in their 50s. You shouldn't, but the truth is that nowadays it happens to people who don't take drugs. You know, I guess their drug of choice would be junk food, maybe. But my point is that men die, people have heart attacks, people lose their hair, everybody's bald. A bunch of people have heart conditions. A bunch of people have diabetes. But this happens to everybody, not just bodybuilders.
You'll have motherfuckers who are like drinking and smoking until they're like 100 years old, and they're still like just, you know, they may have boot leather and they're fine.
Exactly. You know,
this is not like rationalization to go and do dumb shit that's unhealthy, right? That's not what we're saying. But I mean, yeah, a lot of it's going to be up to like your genetics and how lucky you get.
100%. You'll see guys like Lou Ferrigno or Arnold being old men, and you'll have guys who die early. But this isn't only subject to bodybuilders. This happens across the boards. Some people die early, some people die young. I'm not going to act like bodybuilding is innocent and that it's not going to expedite certain things. We all know it does. But that comes with the territory, and it's where only bodybuilders are not the only people dying is my whole point. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes these drugs get a bad rap because once you take steroids, no matter what happens to you, it's the steroids' fault. If you look old, it's not because you just an older looking person. If you're ugly, it's not because you're just ugly. It's the steroids making you ugly. If you die in a car accident, it's the steroids. Everything is the steroids. So I think we give it a little bit too much credit sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what steroids can't do for you though. They can't give you Robin's voice. Like, bro.
That's a hell of a voice.
It's like warm chocolate.
I want to hear Robin sing like blues or something or jazz. You know, I think he can pull it off. I like Robin.
I'm gonna be on his podcast tonight. This Canadian beef one.
Canadian beef,
like 5 tonight. So
yeah, you're gonna pull out one of those double headers, right? That shit is no joke.
Yeah, I gotta go to the gym in between.
I'm like, I bail on them a lot because they have it at like 8 at night where I'm at, and I'm like starting to fade at like 8 o'clock. I'm like,
yeah. Hey man. I was starting to sweat like Ken when I was doing that podcast. I was sitting here leaking. My ass was sore. My lower back was sore, but it was fun though. It was fun. Who else? Who else doing Arnold? Justin, my guy.
Oh yeah, Justin. He could pull another Arnold like from 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He looks like he's doing pretty good for so far.
Now, granted, like most people in this condition would make you nervous, but but because of Justin, I actually think he's ahead. I actually think he's ahead for Justin.
Me and you know Justin since like he even like did his first show in Connecticut.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So he's always been like that. It's been worse. Like sometimes it's been a week out, and you're like, bro, it looks like you got 15 to come off. Like what? Like you know.
And maybe he does, dude. Like I don't know what he has to do to pull that shit off him at the end if it is just water, right? But like maybe he does have 15 pounds to pull off. I remember they were chatting backstage at Tampa in 22, and someone told me that Akeem lost like 22 pounds overnight.
Ooh, that's
like of water. You know, God knows what that took, but like I mean he looked pretty fucking good there.
I've heard some. I've definitely heard some stories about Akeem and how much diuretics he can handle. It hasn't been confirmed, so I'm not gonna say anything. But
Yeah.
I mean, with a body type like that, though, which I mean, is kind of like yours, Beatty, right? Kind of
I
thicker
can take.
skin, like you kind of need that. I mean, I'd be nervous as a coach ever prescribing something like that because I just don't have any experience with it, right? But like, fuck, dude, if that's what it takes and it doesn't kill you,
Listen, man. With Oregon, I've taken so much diuretics that I personally believe any other bodybuilder would be dead. But I didn't even cramp. I didn't even flinch. I didn't even twitch. I still had more water on me, which is insane. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not going to say it on air because I feel like somebody's going to try it and be like, yeah, I want to see if it works for me. And they're going to kill themselves. But it was, let's say it was about 2 weeks, bro. 2 weeks of the diuretics. Literally 2 weeks of diuretics. And like I said, not only was I not flat, I didn't fade, I didn't cramp, nothing. It was almost like if I didn't get it where I got it, I probably would have thought it was fake. Yeah, that's how crazy it is. But to each, Justin might be the same way, for all we know. I wouldn't put it past him.
Like I don't remember ever seeing him on stage flat. Like maybe tired looking because he competed a lot in the last year, but like he's never flat.
No. I didn't think it was possible for me to be flat, but you starve yourself enough, I mean, I was literally down to three meals of 8 ounces of tilapia with no carbs. If you do that for a little bit of time, you'll get flat.
That's right.
You'll get flat. Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. But I was trying to get flat. I want to see myself flat to make sure this is possible, because sometimes I get nervous. I'm like, I have some kind of disease at this point, because no, everybody should be able to get shredded with this diet. So I had to make sure it was possible to to get flat. All right, but yeah, I think he looks pretty good. Who else you got
now, or
John De La Rosa?
No, who's coaching? Do you know?
No,
Justin?
I don't know.
I heard it was Abdullah, but you never know. Sometimes we hear a lot of things. Like I heard the guy dropped out to Arnold, but apparently he didn't drop out.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name?
Remy?
No, the one that won the Arnold Amateur.
Yeah, Remy. His name's Remy.
Remy? Okay.
Remy?
Yeah.
I heard he dropped out. Oh,
I got some messages. Used to live in Oregon, and then he moved to Arizona. Not similar times I did. I never actually met the guy when I was down there. I never saw him, but he's trained at the gym I used to go to down there, which is an awesome gym.
You guys dare me to open my DMs right here live?
No, don't do it.
Look at this profile picture. That's a great profile picture.
Right.
That must have been him in his 20s, man.
He looks young as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, he's aged pretty well. He's been competing since he was freaking, 19, 20, 18?
Yeah.
Pro
he's pretty mild, though, right? Like, Antoine.
Now, though, because I think he had that little scare a year or two ago or something. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, he used to get really big. He used to get 330s, remember?
Yeah.
He doesn't do that anymore. But he's one of those guys now, the leaner he gets, he actually looks bigger and better. Right?
Yeah,
you see him start his prep, and it's like, okay, cool. It's not a lot going on, but then there's a lot going on now. He gets shredded every time.
I don't care what show it is, bro. I'm always rooting for Antoine. He's just he's hard not to like. He's got this indomitable spirit that's just kept him going through all this crap that he's been through. And
I definitely like Antoine. He's like a fan favorite. Who doesn't like Antoine? Who the fuck doesn't like Antoine? If you don't like Antoine, I don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? If you tell me I don't like that guy, I'm gonna look at you funny. what's wrong with you that you don't like this guy? You know, he's one of those guys.
Do you guys think he beats Brandao?
It's gonna be tough.
He's definitely gonna be bigger than him.
He's gonna be in better shape. He's gonna be more shredded.
Yeah, he always looks way better in a lineup than he does on his own.
The problem with Antoine is I think he's a little straight up and down. So we were talking about that shape earlier. I don't really think he's the greatest shape. He'll be in condition, but I don't see him surpassing like a Brandao or a Horse MD personally. But
well, he's also a really good poser. He actually can make himself look aesthetic in certain shots, but genetically, yeah. But if you pay attention genetically, he doesn't actually have a small waist. He doesn't even have the best sweeps on his quads, but his quads is just huge.
Fucking huge, dude.
Bro, you know your quads are huge when you don't have good sweeps, and your quads are still fucking huge. You know what I'm saying? But also, his calves are huge. Like even the way he's posing right now, it makes his waist look better than it is. You know, he's a really good poser, a very entertaining poser as well. Let's see.
I hope he pulls out like some props or something at the Arnold. He's done that before in his routines.
He has. Did Horse MD? Let's see, Horse MD.
He looks insane. I'm definitely a favorite of his. He's growing like crazy. It seems like too personally.
Bro, he's growing like a weed, bro. I gotta see one of these Milos handbooks. I wish Boston was still alive. I'd be like, hey, Boston, you got one of those Milos hand. I'm sure Boston had. But Boston had everybody but Haney. For some reason, he couldn't get a hold of Haney probably knew Boston was on the lookout. So I think he probably calls them. I'm sure he calls them on the phone. Doesn't have anything in writing.
Bro, Haney used to get annoyed at Boston because Boston would he would make fun of Evogen supplements. He was like, yeah, this shit's like overpriced and it's like it's good, but it's like not worth it. And like Haney would not like that.
No, of course he would.
I think Blue told me that.
Bro, I feel like Evogen has like a cult following, bro. Like there's people who like swear by Evogen products. It's kind of strange, y'all. You don't see brands that have people like act like that. But
I've never used any of their stuff before. But like shit, how many Olympia winners have they had?
A lot.
That doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt at all. It doesn't hurt at all. And like the athletes, they're very convincing. You're like, yo, I believe this guy actually takes this shit, and that's hard to do, you know, because a lot of times I'm like, oh, you're not taking this shit, but they're pretty convincing with the.
He does a good job selling it, where he's like, yeah, if you do it with this workout, you got to have the supplements with it, and it's going to make you blasting full, like da 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 da, and you're like, oh really, 3D, like let's do it. Like,
you know what makes it convincing as well. When you don't like shut down gear, because one of the guys from the gym, he was talking to Haney at the expo, and then he's talking about cycles and stuff, and he doesn't go, oh no, like he'll be like, yeah, you know, some insulin pre-workout is great, but this is gonna help it even better. That's smart, because if you try to shut down, oh, you don't need insulin, just take my pump product, then it's like
he designs all that shit, like the products with drugs
to work with the gear.
Yeah. Which is smart, you know?
Very much so. Very much so.
Oh shit, is my camera dead?
Yeah, I didn't know if you were.
How long has it been dead for?
Not that long. Not that long.
Okay, give me a second.
I'm sure we put a line real quick or something, you know.
Yeah, but that makes me believe that he actually believes in his product, because he's designing it for you know, we're doing like an Evogen promo. I'm with HD, so HD is the best, and Apollon is the best as well. Right, Stu?
Bar none.
All right. Who else we got? I saw looking at Keon. There's Keon. Oops.
There's Moshe Bond. He's doing the Arnold.
Does he post anything? I don't see him post.
No, he hasn't. I don't think.
He's always covered up at the gym too.
Always. But hey, listen, you can still see those quads popping out of them damn sweats.
Yeah.
Fucking quad's crazy. Yo, Mo is the nicest guy I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, he's great. I like him.
I don't think I've ever met anybody that nice. John De La Rosa is a really nice guy too. But like Mo, like I don't think he has like a bad bone in his body. He's like the gentlest person you're ever gonna meet. I like that guy.
I think he's gonna maybe crack top 5.
Listen, Mo could crack anything Mo wants to. Mo has beat Ian. Like, you know, Mo has beat some really good guys, you know.
Well, aren't you guys worried that I know he took all of last year off and he had some certain things going on where he had to downsize and he was off everything. So I don't know.
He did downsize.
If he can sort of bounce back from that. I mean, I know he does have great genetics because I remember when he first came on, he blew up like crazy. Remember that? So I mean,
Yeah.
it's a possibility, but I feel iffy about him because of that last year that he took off, and I know he was a lot smaller and off everything. So sometimes it's hard to come back.
Mo is a freak of freaks. Like I don't know. I don't think we're gonna even notice the difference.
Yeah.
Like Mo, like me just in conversation with him, I feel like I don't want to say like he's not trying as far as effort, but it's like I feel like bodybuilding comes really easy for him. I feel like he just transforms, you know. It's like he's just living, and then his body just does things, you know. I think he's a freak of freaks, bro. Because
Do
like
we know
literally,
why he took time off?
He had really bad stomach issues. Like he couldn't he wasn't absorbing anything from the food he was eating.
Yeah, you saw him at USA's, right, Zaid? He looked like a normal person.
Yeah, I was just gonna think. When was that? That was in July. Yeah, he was downsized.
But knowing him, I mean, he probably looks the same right now. He probably looks like a freak already. I hope he does because we got 4 weeks to go. But yeah, Mo is he's a freak of freaks, bro. He didn't, you know, he didn't start bodybuilding that long ago. Like when he won his first pro show, he hadn't been bodybuilding for very long at all. I forgot the amount of years, but it was really short. He started bodybuilding as an adult. He wasn't like lifting weights as a teenager with his friends and shit. He literally just started the shit. So props to
Egyptian genetics, bro. One of the best.
yeah. We talk about like Asians with the quads, but like Arab people with the quads are pretty fucking insane as well. I mean, look at Zay's legs.
That's all we got.
I saw a Keon update. I just be pulling up random people that I'm like I think I saw this person look good, so let me pull them up.
Keon's very large in person. For a short guy, he's very large.
Very wide too, yeah.
Yeah, he's super wide.
His weight makes no difference. Like take his weight and throw it out the window. It doesn't matter. He looks 20 pounds heavier than his weight at all times. You know, like I'm in the gym. I'm at Dragon Lair, and he legit looks bigger than me. And at the time, I'm like 290, and he's like like 210. And it's like you literally look bigger than me, but you're like almost 100 pounds lighter than me. So it's just throw his weight out the window. It makes no difference.
They had a get together thing down in Dallas.
Oh, he was there.
Weekend. Yeah, because they were putting up his jersey at the gym. They do that. Mm-hmm. So if one of their athletes wins an Olympia title, like open or 212, they've only got 212 guys there, but they'll make a custom jersey with their name on it, hang it up at the gym.
That's fucking dope. I like that. How did that go? Well, we didn't talk about that. How did that trip go?
That was fun, dude. We filmed a bunch of videos and got to spend some time with CEO MJ. MJ's a visionary. Like the way he talks in like big picture shit. You know, he's not granular in all these little details. He lets other people handle that. But like I like what he's doing with the brand. Like, because I mean, it's only like it's like one of the only hardcore bodybuilding clothing brands out there left, which is, gonna last the Mohicans. But he's more focused on not just having like the best athletes there necessarily, but like having a community of people who like to train and like do bodybuilding shit. And all the other shit's kind of secondary in his eyes. But they got events throughout the whole year, so I'm going to be trying to go to as many as I can because they're just fun.
What happened? Like, can I pull up? Can I pull up? Hey, I'm with Stu, bro. You let me in. I'm with Stu. Can I do that? Or
you should say Garrett. Garrett Danzy.
No, but I'm about to go follow him right now.
Yeah, you should.
So I can know him.
He's the mayor.
Yeah, Nate, he's like
Garrett?
He makes everything happen behind the scenes there at Destination.
Garrett Danzy?
He's pulling the strings.
You see him?
Yeah, Garrett Danzy, top of the list there.
Oh, there you go.
DD bodybuilds.
I think Johansson follows me. Oh, this guy follow. Oh, hey, what's up, Garrett? I didn't know you would follow me there. Yeah, I was just about to follow you back. How you doing, buddy? Oh man, this guy.
He just had a hernia surgery.
That's dope.
Stu's page or Garrett's page? No. In like 6 videos of Stu in the beginning.
We're friends.
Yeah. This is my guy. I mean, I just like this guy already.
Hey, the man behind him, though, Jay Marcus. Shout out to Jay.
You like Jay, right?
Jay's so fucking funny.
Jay is he's the bodybuilding barber.
Yeah, him.
Okay, yeah. Did you see that fade he hooked up with Justin Wyatt with?
Yeah,
that shit was sharp, bro. Whoa, he took him straight to the fade with the line. I said, "Oh, take it easy on him, Jay."
Who said he went from him? Someone said something like he went from like a redneck to like something.
Hey, all the black girls gonna be going crazy. The Spanish girls and black girls gonna be going crazy over Justin in the next week.
Justin's trying to move to Dallas soon, so he's getting some things figured out still, but he's gonna be there.
Smart man. I like Justin as well. Hey, but yeah, Garrett, yeah. I gotta pull up on you. We gotta link up sometime, Garrett. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He's got a very comfy couch to sleep on.
Yeah, we definitely gotta link up. I don't know if you watch the podcast, but a matter of fact, we should have you on the podcast, man. Hey, come join the squad, brother. Come join the squad. But I actually forgot to put up a question sticker. Oh, but I'm starting to get some. I literally just posted it, but I could put it up from last week. I was gonna ask Stu to post one because I feel like I get similar questions. I want to see what kind of questions.
I get pretty stupid questions too, honestly, when I do them.
Post one right now. Let's see what questions you get. But I'll pull up last week's one.
A little late for that. Don't you think?
I mean, I just literally posted mine right now.
What do you got?
17th. Why is it so late? Okay, let me see. This is from weeks ago, but I don't think we answered this. Best how to manage mid-back. What's the best gym you've trained at and the worst gym? Ooh. Let's start with Zaid.
Oh, that's a tough one. But if I had to pick one, it would be the gym down in San Diego. That's a really good gym.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. The worst one. I'd probably say Planet Fitness down here in Long Beach, man. They are fucking strict as fuck. They don't have no squat racks, and I think if you show up in a tank top, I think they won't let you in.
For real?
Yeah, they definitely have something against like buff people. So
can I press charges? Is that illegal?
No, because they have the right to refuse service for everyone and for anyone they want.
Just tell them that they kick you out because you were black.
Yeah, black card. I'm like, no, it's because I'm black. No, it's because I'm fat and I'm black. And on top of that, I'm gay. I'm a gay fat black guy. That's an automatic win. Imagine that you kicked out a gay fat black guy
in California, bro.
it's game
all
over.
the way to the bank.
Yeah.
I second Zayd on the gym in San Diego. It's fucking awesome. Like you could just in the outside section, you could train your entire body. Like they have a full good gym's worth of equipment out there. And then they have everything inside too. It's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, Nate, you got something for us?
Honestly, it's hard to narrow down, but I like Revive a lot with the new leg room. I don't know if you've been there since they've upgraded it, but it's
No,
pretty.
I haven't been there.
It's pretty nice, and everything's like new and just sort of like a good vibe. I've been to the gym. That's great too. Every time I've been there though, it's like crazy busy though. So I don't know if it's like certain times I'm going, but
yeah, no, the parking lot is always fucked like that, dude. Always.
Yeah.
Or the gym?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're on this like really small plot of land, and the parking lot they have for it is like half as big as it needs to be. You got like lines of cars waiting for people to come out and leave so they can park. It sucks.
That used to be World Gym. That used to be the World Gym San Diego.
Yeah.
The one that I think Lee Priest and Nasser and people trained there before.
Yep. Same place.
But Nate, next time you go to Revive, make sure you grab some of that GH I've been hearing so much about.
Oh, the special
that special farm GH. It might be it might be true. It might be the same shit, but I got to try it at least once. So next time you go, let me know.
Yeah.
Apparently, it makes all the difference, and I'd be much better if I use pharmaceutical growth hormone.
I keep hearing that, but it's like, so would you be 300 pounds on stage? Like what?
No,
what else are you gonna get from
fucking
it?
shit, dude. The people who plug Pharma GH sell Pharm GH. Okay, it's not complicated, guys.
Good point.
They tell you everything else is shit.
I downgraded my GH technically, and I think I'm feeling better actually. I think it's working even better. That sounds crazy.
Hey, did you figure out what package was what?
That was can I say the names on is that
I don't care.
Is that fucked up? So the Metatrope, that was the Metatrope.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like I'm getting even more growth out of that than the cues I was taking. But that could be mental, but I'm personally feeling fuller. I feel leaner, so I like it. I'm still waiting on
buddy who we were just talking about actually was who uses the cues. I've never used the Metatropes or the cues, but you know what I do. So
yeah.
Have you got
Boston?
Yet?
I think we get stuck.
No, it still hasn't come in. I think it comes in today actually.
Okay.
Like you only have like one good experience with growth hormone, and then that one good experience we all sort of hold on to, like that's the best growth hormone. I think that's sort of where we all, if you talk to any bodybuilder, because if you look back, like for me, it was those Nortropin pens. Those were the best experience I've ever had, but I don't get them anymore. But that was the best results I've seen. So that's always going to be in my mind. That's the best growth hormone for me. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, the first time you take it, the first time I ever took growth, I was 6 weeks out, right? And my body wasn't looking the way I would want to look 6 weeks out. Automatically, I hop on 4 IUs. Within a couple of weeks, I was a different person. Like it went from like, okay, you getting ready for a show, cool, to like I would take my shirt off at the gym. Everybody like, bro, you're gonna win that show. Literally only the growth. Like nothing else changed. The diet didn't change. The cardio didn't change. So that first experience with growth, if it's good shit, is pretty. And that was actually generics as well. So generics is not going to kill you. It's not going to give you mad cow disease or leukemia. You'll be fine.
Problem is you just got to find real GH because pharmaceuticals.
Simple as that.
There's plenty of fake farm shit out there too.
So it's all equally as fake. That's the problem. So
110%. Like with the Seristims, because I'm in West Hollywood, if you get Seristims here, you're getting it from AIDS patients, and they're gonna always scratch out the serial number because they don't want you seeing the serial number. You get that shit and it's not scratched out. Be careful. There's a reason why it's not scratched out because it's not real, so they don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good way. But I mean, somebody could easily just scratch it out because they know the game, and it could just be fake Seros, But God forbid I'll pay $700 for a kit of growth hormone. That's not happening.
Yeah, I've been getting my shit from the same place for over 3 years now. I've turned from like a pretty regular looking dude into like an ape facially.
Yeah.
So like I'm sorry, if you're gonna sit here and tell me that I put on all this muscle
It's in
and
your head.
face morphed and I wasn't taking good growth hormone this whole time, you're retarded. Like you're fucking stupid. Like look, like
Compton.
I'm like people use me as an example of like what does growth hormone usage look like? Like I've had
Exactly.
my friends tell me that, you know. Like
No, literally. I mean, Compton, he used generics his whole career.
yeah.
Can you get more muscular than Compton? I mean,
Look at his fucking face too. I
that's
mean,
what he
like,
said.
you know, again, he had like some of those features to begin with, but they got so accentuated, you know?
Exactly. Listen, the moment you tell me Compton's generics is bullshit, he should use pharma. Like you said, you're literally there's something wrong with you. Just stop talking at that point. Just stop talking.
Well, I mean, you're just trying to sell it, you're trying to plug your product that you're getting a little cut on, you know?
Yeah.
That's the game that some people who will go unnamed are playing.
Oh man. Okay. Did we answer? Oh, I didn't answer the question. It was a gym question, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Favorite.
that's Jim. That's Jim.
How did we even get there? But revive and everything. Okay, so yeah, I'm still waiting on the other one. I'm gonna try because I want to see the differences. So I'm gonna discontinue the Metatrope and then try the other one and see, But Boston put me onto the Qs,
Yep.
and a lot of people don't know about the Qs, but it's starting to get a little popular around Venice because I keep talking about it.
I know a very well-known pro who didn't use anything but generic Metatrope stuff up until he turned pro. And you're going to tell me that it wasn't real.
Yeah,
he's got money now to afford, just use pharmaceutical stuff, and it's no problem for him. But like, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Maybe he just got mad cow disease and it made him train harder. All right. Okay. Let me answer it. Best gym I ever trained at, Fit Nation Gym, of course. Fit Nation Gym. And the worst gym I trained at, I guess Planet Fitness is. Did they get any worse than that?
It doesn't.
Let me see. Yeah, I don't think it gets any worse than that. I actually trained at Planet Fitness for like a year straight. Well, I mean, I trained at Planet Fitness at like 16, 17 for a while, but there was one year that when I first quit my job at LA Fitness and I was trying to build my own clientele, I was training people there and working out there and trying to save money. And I made it work, but it was horrible, to say the least.
Well, I won't lie. I'm actually guilty. I have a Planet Fitness membership, and I'll give them a little bit of credit because it's only $10 a month. And then if I'm on the road, I can always get cardio workout in. There's always a Planet Fitness. So it sort of like has helped me out in the past. You know what I mean? Like if you're on prep, you got to go somewhere and like you just want to get in there quick, get out. You know what I mean? That type of thing.
Yeah.
It can be beneficial in some ways, but obviously being there all the time and like a regular member is not beneficial for us.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe the worst gym, Gold's Gym Burbank. Not the actual gym, but it's so crowded, you literally can't work out. Like I literally walked in and had to walk back out because it's impossible.
Well,
These kids, huh?
Would you rather train at Alpha Elite or Planet Fitness?
It gets pretty crowded out for the
tripods everywhere.
Yeah, they're like all like 18-year-old, 20-year-old, like kids that are shooting social media stars. It's like,
bro, you know how Nick just signed with them? Like, do you think he's gonna go out to that gym and like that would be so funny? It would be like him at like a gorilla amongst a bunch of little, lemurs or something like that. He looks so out of place, dude.
He might punch somebody in the face at that point. he might
I don't know. I think Nick's probably used to talking to like, annoying, dumb young kids because he's got a lot of fans. But like, that just the visual would be so funny.
Yeah. Exactly. All right.
I'm gonna be getting a Planet Fitness membership because I gotta go tanning during prep. I'm gonna be doing the transracial thing, so I'm gonna catch you, Beatty.
Oh, somebody actually asked that. It says, Stu, how did it feel to be Nigerian?
I'm honored by the title. You know, I'm going to try to live up to the responsibility that brings with it.
It's gonna be tough. That's tough shoes to fill.
Yeah, man. Ken's really setting the bar high. Don't be surprised if I start sweating at some point today.
You might start sweating.
I might just spritz some water on me to like, try to fit in.
Also, a follow-up question. Are you gonna start a YouTube channel, Stu?
I have started a YouTube channel. It sucks, but like I'm gonna be doing some vlogs during my prep. So
follow Stu. I'm gonna assume it's beef stew.
Yeah, it's beef. It's the same as my Instagram handle, I think.
It's beef_Nigerian stew.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's just beef_stew. I just checked.
All right, right. Could someone have low estrogen on 6? Why could somebody have low estrogen? My estradiol was 11.2 on 600 tests and 600 EQ. This is sounds scientific. I feel like Stu is the science guy. This is baby me.
I'm the science guy. Oh shit, we're fun.
Yeah.
Well, equipoise can metabolize into I don't know if it's an aromatase inhibitor that acts in the same way that like aromasin or something would, but like it can lower your estrogen after it metabolizes. So and that's going to affect everybody to like different degrees. Like typically I wouldn't run something like 600 tests and 600 EQ. I'd have my tests significantly higher. You know, I'd probably have it like a gram. And you know, even if my dose were lower, like the ratios would still be kind of comparable. But I mean, you can avoid a lot of the weird side effects that come with, you know, DECA, equipoise, tren, even maybe not tren, but like just by running your testosterone higher. I don't know what it is nowadays, but like people seem to be against running test high. Like, and you know, when I was like 200 pounds, if I ran a gram of test, I'd have titties real quick. Like I'd have issues. So like, you know, you need to get to the point where you're running that much, but like I think it should always be the highest, you know, dosed drug in your stack in an off-season setting. Things are different at the end of a prep, maybe, but like, I don't know, like you see people running like a gram of Masteron, 2 grams of Masteron, and like a gram of test. And I'm thinking of somebody very in particular who's like promoting this shit. And I'm like, what? Like, why is this a thing now? Nobody has ever done this before to get big. And I think a lot of them are like really against aromatase inhibitor usage for some reason, because it can be bad for your lipids. But like low dose aromasin is probably going to be plenty, and you don't need to take fucking 2 grams of Masteron. You're going to tell me that that's healthy for your cholesterol and your lipids and your fucking hair, for God's sake? I mean, you're just throwing the hair out with the bathwater if you're doing that, honestly.
Bro, the theory is like, okay, I'm going to lower my test a little bit and I'm going to take more of everything else. And guess what? I'm going to be so much healthier, less side effects, right? You tell me, are bodybuilders healthier than they used to be? Are bodybuilders, you know, I don't know if it's like I get more questions about all these crazy side effects that I don't believe people were necessarily getting before. You know, it's like, oh, my dick doesn't work and I got titties, my estrogen is low, and I'm seeing all these side effects for cycles that are supposed to minimize side effects. And I'm like, are you really minimizing side effects, or are you just not making as much progress as you should make? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to be the guy that like, you know, there's a way that I will typically set up cycles for like myself or my clients, right? But like if something works better, like if you work better on like a 1-to-1 ratio of like test and some other compound, then fucking do it. You know, if you feel good, if you're, you know, your blood pressure's good, all that other shit, you know, do what works for you. There's no rules in this game. But most big guys for the last couple of decades have gotten big doing like a test base where that's the highest dose compound, and they'll have like one or two other drugs on top of that, and growth and insulin as well in there. It's not complicated, but I think a lot of people, the educator class, I'm thinking of, those types of people who like
PEDs.
who
PEDs.
PEDs.
Yeah, PEDs, bro. No, I thought you were making a joke about that earlier.
PEDs? What does PEDs mean?
Who's PEDs?
Oh, the educator. Never mind. I was making a joke. I thought you'd get.
I don't know who PEDs is, but fuck him.
He says PEDs all the time, this educator, but.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I obviously I don't fucking listen to him, but I mean, they're trying to sell something different. They're trying to sell their ebooks and their online courses and say that, I have a better, healthier way of doing this. And if it works for them, fine, fucking go for it. But like, I don't want anybody coming to me and say, I'm telling 3 grams of gear and 2 grams of Masteron and say that's healthy, or like that's better just because you don't have to take an aromatase inhibitor. Nobody does that. Nobody has done that for years. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't start there. I wouldn't start with like a DECA only cycle or like something fucking stupid like that, because nobody good does it.
Honestly, for me, on that EQ cycle, I wouldn't even use EQ. I would just go to 1200 tests and I'd feel and get way better results than like even throwing EQ in there. I think a lot of people have to throw this and that in there. It's like, bro, sometimes if you just run your tests like to a gram, like you can get insane results just off that. I mean, me personally, but I think another thing is like we got a note on is there's more people trying to bodybuild than ever, which means the genetics pool has been the worst it's ever been, in my opinion, like coaching a lot of people. So you get a lot of people that have not great genetic response. So this when you're talking about, oh, I got this side effect, that side effect, this, you know what I mean? Whereas like for maybe me and Stu, when we don't get like a lot of pro bodybuilders have great genetics, right? With that comes into say your response to PEDs and all that kind of stuff, right? So you get these kids that don't have great genetics and they're getting acne, their dick's not working, they're et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, well, back in those days, you wouldn't be bodybuilding, to be honest with you, because the people that bodybuild were the people that were like supposed to be bodybuilding. People would come up to you in the gym and say, hey, you should compete. You look crazy. Like you look good. Like, are you on stuff? And you're like, no, I'm natty. Like that's how it used to be. Now
they'd be the gatekeepers, right? Yeah.
Right.
There's no gatekeepers anymore. There's just jackasses making, fools of all of us.
How do you go about this? Because I've had this happen to clients that I really like and clients that maybe I don't like so much. But either way, I've had this happen where somebody comes to you, right? Hey man, I want to work with you. I want to win a show and I want to go do nationals. I want to do really well. Okay, cool. They send you pictures. You're kind of like, okay, not the best, but let's go for it. And you're working with this person for 2-3 years. You know all the gear is real. They train hard. They're getting their meals in, and they're just not progressing. Yeah. You can't get them big enough. You can't get them lean enough. It's just their body just is not very responsive. They don't have the genetics. It's just not going. Yeah. What conversation do you have a conversation with them? If so, what conversation do you have with them? Because it's a very tough situation.
Well, for someone like that, you have to explain to them, you have to run your own race, because obviously with social media and all that stuff, a lot of these guys get disappointed or they look at other people that are progressing at a much faster rate. Those are the type of people that have to get really good at like being comfortable with themselves and knowing, okay, this is going to be my race and this is how I have to play it, and not like start to play other people's games. Because like maybe they're going to hear, oh, well, this pro ran this and this, and then they're like, oh, well, I'm going to try that. But it's like we just said, that's not going to work for them. So they have to sort of figure out a game plan for themselves. And that might be a thing where you might not get too obsessed with progress because you're going to keep getting disappointed. You know what I mean? So some of those guys, you have to sort of explain to them, hey, I'm not trying to be an ass, but you might not have the greatest genetics. And this is sort of how we're going to have to like go about this for you to actually want to do this and enjoy it, because those are the type of people that will not enjoy it if they start comparing and seeing this guy at the gym who just started training and all of a sudden he's better than him in 6 months, or you know what I mean, which is true. Right.
Yeah. It's a very uncomfortable conversation because one guy in particular, I really like this guy. He doesn't work with me anymore, and understandably, because you're gonna want to try everything, right? You're like, okay, maybe they're the coach who can get me big and get me shredded. You know, obviously, that's not the case because it hasn't happened still because it's really just his genetics, really more than anything. But you got to respect him for trying. You have to. Well, you can't just give up, you know. But it's hard because at some point, somebody's gonna have to have the conversation with him because he's really adamant and passionate about this. But like, how? Well, I don't want to. Like I said, I like the guy. I don't want to like crush his feelings because there's no taking it the right way. His feelings are gonna be hurt. But I think honesty is important. I think somebody has to tell him. I don't want to be the one to do it, but I think somebody needs to tell him, you know, for his own good, just so he can maybe think about other things, maybe do more training, more coaching. I don't know. If you have bad genetics, you probably make a good coach.
Sometimes it sucks to hear the truth, but I mean, well, I wanted to be a basketball player, but you know,
me too. Yeah,
it's pretty. You know, one of those things where it's like, oh shit, okay, I'm probably not going to be doing this just because of my height.
I was adamant. I was going to the NBA. You couldn't tell me anything. I was gonna be a fucking 5'10", 280-pound guard.
Like
yeah,
he gave me
power guard. I was gonna be the first power guard ever in NBA. Posting motherfuckers up.
Posting be one of those dudes who gets like the metal sticks in their legs, and you know they get taller. That shit's wild, dude. Like
but then I know somebody who did that, and now he has like a limp. He kind of has like a little limp.
You go to fucking Thailand and get metal sticks put in your legs. You think it's gonna go well? Like,
okay, is it worth it? Let's say you've been bullied. Girls don't want to date you because you're short, and now you're 3 inches taller, but you're walking like this.
Okay,
like,
so what? Now you're like 5'8" and you're still as short as I am. Like, bro, coming from a guy who is like average height, you know, like they're not going to start throwing themselves at you.
No, man. I think at that point you have to go other. You got to find something else because I see a lot of really short guys with the baddest girl.
Yeah,
because they got money.
Go get rich.
Exactly. Go get rich.
Use that fucking short man rage and turn it into cash. Like, be productive with it. But like to get back to your question, like, you know, what if you have a guy who's you know, doing bodybuilding isn't cut out for it. Like, if they ask me early on about, you know, this, they say like, this is my goal, this is my time frame. Like, I'm always going to be honest with them. Like, a guy I just started with, he was like, older guy. He's like, I want to be 190 and 8% body fat within the first 3 months. And this guy's like, you know, he's fat right now. And I was like, you know, he's 176. I was like, no, that's not going to happen. You know, realistically, that's not going to happen. We're going to see some big changes really quick here. But like, because, you know, we're going from like totally disorganized and everything to like following a bodybuilding program. But like, no, that's not realistic, you know. And when it comes to like competitors as well, if they tell me like I want to go pro in the next couple of years, I'm like, I have no idea if that can happen. You know, the people who, especially when they're like 19 or 20, they see their favorite influencers. They see like that Antoine guy, that Ukrainian kid. They're like, I want to look like this. I'm like, you're never going to look like that. I had a kid who lived down in Arizona, and he hired me. The guy lasted like 2 or 3 months, never checked in. It was just super flaky. And he was like, he literally sent me a picture of this very talented young guy. I think his handle's like Jack Eagle or something like that. He was like, I want to look like this. How much do I have to take to look like this? I'm like, dude, that is just not even the right question. This guy had good, you know, this kid I was coaching had good structure. Like, he had good potential, but like, oh, guess what? He couldn't go to the gym and he couldn't do things properly because his fucking girl broke up with him. Like, whoa, like this should not be getting in your way.
You know, of working out, no.
Yeah, like I've never understood that, dude. Like if I had a breakup, like that's just gonna like, okay, shit's fucked right now. I'm gonna go to the gym because it's the only thing I have control over. I'm just gonna go like whole hog on bodybuilding, you know? That's what I would do. That's what I did in 2022, and I won the USAs, and these kids are like, oh, they're heartbroken and like, oh, I can't work out, I can't get my meals and bro, like, have you never seen like a come up? Like, come
Yeah.
on,
Yeah, man.
it drives
It
me
I've
heals
nuts.
you for sure.
Yeah. I don't think you're cut out for bodybuilding if that's your mindset, but I've lost so many clients by being honest. And then I see them get with a different coach. I'm like, so are these coaches lying to them? You
Yes,
know?
yes, they are,
Okay.
and
Imagine if
that would be better for business, man.
it would be.
I bet like a guy like me or Nate, like we're pretty straightforward and honest from the jump. Like the people who are coming to us are probably coming to us because like, they know who we are and they know that we're honest. So I haven't had a lot of people like drop me because I was honest with them. I've been doing this for less time than you, of course, but so if you kind of like narrow down your client pool just to people who know you and know that you're not going to lie to them, then they won't get mad when when you tell them the truth. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're a very nice guy, baby. So like,
Mhm.
maybe you attract everybody, which is good, I guess. But
Yeah.
Well, also too, I don't lie. I don't like sugarcoat it because for me, when they go to that show and then that happens what I'm thinking, I'm gonna feel like an ass because I told them something. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather be straight up with them. So their expectations are okay. When I get to the show and I get third or fourth, I'm not gonna be like heartbroken and hate my coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like so,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the way I look at it. Where these guys are like, yeah, they are pumping them up, and then so what is this client gonna think when they go get like last call out? Like my coach is an
Yeah.
asshole. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
Imagine if Stu is my financial advisor and I come to Stu day one and I take a picture of Jeff Bezos and put it on the table. 3 months, get me like this guy. You see how stupid and ridiculous that sounds? Like it's not that you can't be a billionaire, but you're probably not gonna fucking be a billionaire, And to put a time limit on it is even more ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's so many factors that I have no idea or control of right now that these things is so far ridiculous that the fact that you don't understand how ridiculous it is, it's alarming. It's alarming to me.
yeah. They
You
just don't
know?
have perspective. They haven't been in the game like we have for a long time. I mean, I know that if I qualify for the Olympia eventually, like it's gonna be because I did a show where studs didn't show up, where like top guys weren't there. I got lucky, fucking I'm going to the Olympia, right? Cool. But you're gonna have to do a lot of shows and get lucky and finally hit it to do that. I mean, Nate, how many times were you like second place at the national level and you just kept on showing up and you got there?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
these guys, there's so many good dudes like take second and third. They're consistently in the mix, and it's just like, yeah, they eventually turn pro. Like, Cade Zook, you remember him? Like he
mm.
was up there for a long time and he finally got it. Um, but if they get they
Vincenzo. What's his
yeah,
that guy's
Yeah.
name?
Vachetta Masson, yeah.
dude, yeah. That was like a decade that he'd been competing and he finally got it.
Mm.
Um, so you just gotta keep on doing your thing and your time will come, hopefully.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, dude,
Well,
if you're not cut out for it, fucking play golf, man. Golf is
I have
fun.
simple.
to add, most people when they tell you that, I swear to you, they have lack of effort. I've never met somebody who cannot grow or who cannot get peeled because of genetics. You can most definitely get big. You're just lacking the effort. You can force feed well enough to get growing, and you can starve enough to get shredded. But when someone tells you, "Oh, I'm doing everything with the gear and the diet and the cardio, and I'm still not getting any results," I don't believe a person when they said that to me because I know they can do better just in terms of effort, and they would definitely get a response.
I
But
think
personally, I would still be very straight up forward with them and dive into their why they're competing. You are training to just do a show and have fun, and I'm all for it. Like a marathon, somebody could do a marathon but not get first place, and that's okay because you finished the marathon. Some people want that. But if your vision is to turn pro then you have to be more realistic when it comes to actual structure. What's your chances? And I always go by shows. I tell somebody if they want to go pro. Tell them, hey, win your state first, state championship. If you can win that, come back. We'll have a different talk about the national level. So if you win this show, that means okay, you're on a good spot to turn pro. But if you can win certain local shows, there's no point in even trying. You know.
I think Zaid is right 95% of the time. I think a lot of times you're not giving enough effort or giving it enough time. But I will say there are bottom barrel genetics that have no hope.
Yeah.
This is unfortunate, but your triceps attach up here, and then your biceps attach up here. Your hips are this high. I've seen it. Your hips are this high. Your legs are this. You just don't look. You just don't look right. You know what I'm saying? You don't look right.
People come in all shapes and sizes, and that's fine. Like this is Stu with the body positivity here, right? But like, don't try to force a square peg into a round hole. And you're right. You know, with enough effort, you can always put on muscle. You can always get leaner. But the speed at which that happens, you know, let's say, you know, if you're lucky, you got 15, 20 years of a career competing in this sport. You know, some people, it simply is impossible for it to happen in that time frame. You know, even if they were fucking perfect for a decade, they still might not even be like a light heavyweight. And then you get a card, you know, and like, what are you going to do with it?
That's insane,
it is what it is.
Like, I feel like everyone assumes they're going to get a pro card. Like as long as they compete, it's like all these new people. Like when I get a pro card, it's like, bro, everyone doesn't get a freaking pro card. What are you talking about? Like it's not like it's just gonna, right? You know, I feel like I get that a lot. Like everyone just assumes if I compete long enough, I'm going to get a pro card. It's like, nah, that's not how it works.
Zayd's philosophy is like if you get like a Dave Palumbo, right? He was able to work his way up really high on, let's be honest, pretty bad genetics, crazy fast metabolism. He had to eat like 10K calories to add a fucking pound of muscle. He doesn't have good inserts. His waist is short. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have sweeps to his, like everything was against him, right? Granted, he didn't turn pro, but he could have. He was very close, you know.
He made a career out of it.
I mean, he makes more money than, let's be real, than most pro bodybuilders have ever made, right? Most of his peers who were pros are not as successful as him. So he made a career out of it, and he was able to become a 300-pound shredded bodybuilder. So that shows that effort was able to, and he beat a lot of guys that were way better genetics than him. So it shows that effort can trump, you know, obviously he's a hard worker because he's very successful, right? You don't become successful. So it shows that the effort can trump a lot of genetics. So if that's your cards, try to be a Dave Palumbo and reach your ceiling, but make sure you're doing everything right. You know. Now that being said, some people have no hope, but to try your best at least.
Yeah. See where it goes. Go all in, and if it's just not happening, like you still work out, be healthy. You know, don't take drugs though, or like you know, if you want to stay on like very very mild cycles to like you know just enhance your appearance and be like a jacked shredded dude, that's cool as well. I guess I'm not going to tell you how to live, but I mean, I look forward to the day when I'm like taking like 200 mgs of test and like a little growth hormone and like going for hikes when I'm done with this shit.
Honestly though, I recently, like 2 weeks ago, I cut out I like to mix prop and E. So I cut out the prop. So that halved my dose of test. Granted, it's only been 2 weeks, but prop is pretty fast. And I look exactly the same, if not better. So part of my head, I'm like, is it because I already have size? Or is it that, or do we just take more than we actually need?
I think probably a bit of both. Yeah. I mean, like I'm 4 weeks off off for Stu means, still growth hormone and insulin in there, but like 200 mgs a test, probably less because I forget my shots all the time. But like,
You look the same.
yeah, I mean, I like a little bit softer. My weight's gone down like a couple of pounds, but I mean, I'm still a bodybuilder, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I mean, obviously, I'm going to start rolling into prep here, and the drugs will go back up. But I mean, I've talked about it here. I'm intending to take less shit this year because I got to string the season out for longer. So
yeah, I think we need less than we now growth hormone. If I cut the growth hormone, I'm gonna look kind of shitty. That I know. I'm not gonna look as good if I cut the growth. But the gear, I think past a certain dose, I think at that point we're just taking it. We're just taking shit, But it's like, okay, let's say if your body needs 200 grams of protein to grow, you're not gonna risk taking 200. You're gonna go 250 just to make sure you ain't fucking around. Yeah. So same for test. Let's say if I can get, as much result that I need on 750, I'm gonna just go to a gram just to make sure. Whatever
your brain works. Yeah, if you feel okay on it, that's fine. You're probably within the margin of error where like it's going from 750 like 2 grams, like you're probably gonna have some negative repercussions from that. So like, but yeah, like we like to pad things. And that's okay. I mean, we can probably get away with less, but it takes time to realize that. As a young man who's growing up, you got to realize, oh yeah, okay, that's not the most important thing here. It's one of the important things.
Exactly.
More is not necessarily going to take you to another level. In fact, it'll probably make you more toxic. It'll make you burn out faster, make you feel shittier as you do more shows and your extended season. So you got to be smart.
Yeah. I feel like we answered like one question in like an hour. All right.
You don't have any right to be surprised at this point, man.
All right. Now the question, I listened so much to podcasts while doing cardio on my horizontal bike and it broke. I thought he was going
to get fat, bro.
I thought he was going somewhere. I thought he was going to say like, keep it up, good shit.
Oh, I want to give a shout out to Lucas Rutkowski. He tags you all the time. He tags a bunch of us. He's Polish. He lives over, I believe he lives in Poland. He runs like a supplement distribution company out there. I forget the name of it, but he's a really cool dude. He's kind of like looped in with a lot of the European scene over there, promoters, supplement companies, and I don't know. I just wanted to give him a shout out because he's been really nice to me. So
yeah, shout out to Lucas
Rutkowski.
Rifkowski.
Yeah, put the Brooklyn fucking accent on.
It's like you riff.
I don't know if it's Lucas or Lukasz because it's Lukasz. Fucking Polish people. You can't pronounce shit.
Pretty much America.
So, you know who cracks me up? David is funny as hell. He's a funny guy. When I first had him on, it's funny because I didn't expect this like Polish guy with like a thick accent to be so funny. And he was saying something. I'm like, did you just say that? And I was like, that guy's funny.
Yeah, he's got like an incredibly good comprehension of the English language. Like he picks up on slang and like little shit we say. And from coming from Polish, which is like so fucking far from English. It's not like Spanish to English. We're like, oh yeah, okay. They're both Romance languages, but
it's kind of very, very impressive. I definitely like that guy.
Other funny European dudes. I got to spend time with Dennis Wolf while I was down in Dallas. He's a fucking hoot, bro. He is so funny. Like,
really?
Yeah, he had he's very quiet and professional.
Yeah, on camera he's quiet.
But like when you get him loose and you're just hanging out with him, like he had a couple of glasses of wine in him when we were at MJ's house. Dude, he has some stories. He is so funny.
Dennis, I've always been a huge fan of Dennis, bro.
How could you not, bro? He's just like a freakazoid. Like, yeah.
I like watching him on like the MD days with the big ass T-shirt, like a 6X,
Yeah,
like a 6X fucking T-shirt on.
like
that shit's
I
cool.
remember seeing pictures of him and like they weren't photoshopped. And I swear they looked photoshopped because he was that fucking big. Like his front
Yeah.
double and his most muscular, like his crab, doesn't
Bro,
even make sense.
let me see if they have it on YouTube. Yo, go watch the 2013 Mr. Olympia. No, was it 13 or 14?
Okay.
What year did he get third behind Kai?
Dude, he was up in there
14.
multiple times.
Fourth, but I watched that shit. Somebody brought it up. Somebody said because somebody was talking about potential Mr. Olympia. He's like, yo, I think Dennis should have won in 2014. I'm like, what the fuck are you? You sound crazy. I went and watched it, bro. I don't know how this slipped my mind. I think we were so focused on Kai and Phil
Yeah.
that we weren't paying attention to him. I think that's what happened to the judges. I'm looking, I'm like, bro, he beat Kai by a landslide. Kai wasn't even close to Dennis. Now, Phil, it was close because by that time, Phil's front poses weren't what they was. And then Dennis's front poses were one of the best in history. Like that front double and front lat that year could have stood next to anybody in history, and I think would have beat them. The sweep, the waist, he wasn't even known for arms. His biceps was there. I'm like, what the fuck did he do this year? And I wish he would have done it again. I think he could have won that. As crazy as it sounds.
Well, pretty soon after that, he in 2016. That's when he hurt his back. Remember, he had the spinal injury, and then he got it fixed somewhat, and then he came back in 2018 and at the Arnold, and he was really downsized, and then he retired.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, but that was creeping up on him. When he said one side of his body was starting to get like a little numb.
Yeah.
And if you watch, you notice that one of his calves disappeared and the other one was there.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking at the pictures now, actually.
Yeah. I think
was it 2013 or 2014?
14.
I don't remember.
What the year that wore red trunks, right?
How do you remember this shit? The color of trunks.
I remember funny because we were talking about Boston, and I remember me and Boston going back and forth talking about Dennis could have won that one too back in the day because he was insane. I think the problem was he had, if I remember correctly, it was like the three black guys in the call out and then him. So it was almost like he was like not really, it was almost like an odd man out, you know what I mean? If I remember correctly.
Yes, true. And also his physique looked so different. It was almost incomparable. He looked like, imagine a 300-pound classic physique guy, basically. It looked so different, like nothing we ever seen before. I can't find a good comparison video. I think it's on Instagram somewhere.
People forget how good he was, man. And now like he's like regular size, probably I bet he's like 220 or 230. He's happy, he's healthy, he's training. He just launched their supplement line too. They got a couple pre-workouts, so
yeah.
He's doing good.
If I find it, I'm gonna pull it up and post it with one of the clips for the podcast because I was amazed. I was amazed at what I was seeing. But yeah, the Dennis crazy physique, man. Very, very underrated.
07 look was pretty nasty too.
I thought
2007.
Yeah, 2007 was cool.
He only turned pro in 05, and then he went like straight to the Olympia pretty soon after.
I mean, he was good. All right. Last 8 weeks of prep, what compounds are you running? Let's start with Zaid. Yeah, basically. Everything, whatever you can get your hands on.
Pretty much. Whatever I can afford. I'm just kidding. Tren acetate. I do Tren enanthate. I do Halo and Winstrol and then Mastrol.
You do Tren A and Tren E together?
Yeah.
Why do is there a particular reason for that?
Yes, because at the very end, when it's like 1 week out, I'll take a big fat shot of Tren E, so it holds me until show day, and I drop all injections.
I've thought about doing that before.
I like that.
I talked to Blue about that idea, and he was like, "No, don't do that. Don't do that." But I want to ask him.
It works wonders for me. Yeah.
Because I keep shots in until like Thursday.
Oh shit! Oh, yeah, I don't plan that last week.
I just stick them in my lats, and I don't have any issues there. But I mean, I drop everything except for Tren, and I'll keep that in until Thursday. but
you might look fresher if you cut it a little earlier, but still take a good amount of Tren E. And I do Tren E and Test E, so I'm good on Test and I'm good on Tren E for a week, basically.
Yeah, by that Monday, I'll start pinning everything in like my toes, like the drug addicts. I'll pin it in between my toes to make sure I don't have any lumps.
Wait, people do that? Do people put shit? I don't
They
live in
got
LA,
no
so
meat.
I don't know.
In Portland, they do.
I'm sure somebody's putting shit between their toes just to just to not get information. Only Zay went. How about Nasty Nate?
So yeah, usually 8 weeks out, I throw the Tren Ace in, and that's all I use, and then masked. Honestly, I'll use E or P there. Not too picky, and I usually keep Test E or C in the whole time. I don't actually switch to Pro, which I know a lot of guys, but I've never had an issue with that. And then usually like Proviron and Winnie at like 5 weeks out. And then like I'll use Halo usually 2 or 3 weeks out, just at 20 mgs. I feel like it's pretty potent, you know what I mean? And then I try to run my anti-E's as low as I can. Like I used to back in the day, I would be the person that was doing like the last 2 weeks, 1 mega ADEX, every day. And I think my body's responding, looks a lot better with less AIs, but I'm not that guy. I think a lot of people are getting too far as like running their estrogen high and all this stuff where they try to get as high as they can. But I think obviously you need a balance. So like on my bloods, I like to be like between 60 and 80 for estradiol. Where I think a lot of guys are getting too far off like we were saying, a balance, right? So a lot of guys back in the day, it would be like you crush your estrogen, and now guys are like, oh, we got to rush our estrogen high. Like I've seen a lot of guys that are running their estrogen a little bit too high, in my opinion. But a lot of those, not pro bodybuilders, but more like the social media people and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
I like my estrogen on the high side. I feel a little zesty when the estrogen is a little high. I feel I my joints feel good when it's high, but you don't want it too high. That's a bit. You don't want to be too zesty. But yeah, I wanted to ask Zay how much, since he mentioned Halo, how much Halo do you run last week, Zay?
60 megs a day.
Oh,
I like Halo nice. High, man. I really like my Halo. And
that's why I had to ask.
For some reason, I don't get any of this fucking they get rage. I don't know, man. I never got that from it.
Because you're hungry as hell. You got no energy to be fucking mad.
Yeah.
They
Plus,
be
like
starving.
whatever is gonna piss you off normally, it's still gonna piss you off during prep. People mistake that something could happen to you, and this would piss me off even if I was in the off season. So some people rely on, if you get angry, it's because of a certain drug. But normally, no, it's the fucking same issue. You're gonna get frustrated from the same thing, even during the off season. But maybe it's not the healthiest thing, of course. But I only abused that the last week, and that's it.
You get a pass because the rest of your year is so healthy. You could crush a little. Yeah, you could crush a little Halo at the last.
That's why I take 6 months off afterwards.
Yeah, smart.
Don't even count. It's just a snack.
And Zay, you don't do diuretics, do you?
I did Arimidex. I did Diazide and Eldactone for the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no more than those. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was drinking for the prejudging. I wasn't dehydrating. I was drinking water because I sat for the 3.5 hours in the sauna. Remember? So once I got out and made weight, I was drinking water. I wasn't cutting water.
You look pretty dehydrated to me, Zay, and the check-ins.
Yeah. I was 2 liters down by then, by the way.
Oh damn! Well, yeah, but you was also doing sauna and all that. Yeah, so you were just trying to stay alive, basically, at that point.
Pretty much.
But let's go, Zay. Zay. Let's go, Stu.
Yeah, pretty much all the same shit as you guys. Trenace, mass probe, test probe. Generally, the mass probe and the Trenace will come up. And
look at that hand, man. I can't get over that bully.
Get over the hands, bro.
The bully.
I'm gonna put him behind my back. Yeah, generally like Trenace and mass probe will go up, and test probe will come down. over the course of the prep. I'll have an enthate in up until like 6 weeks out, and then switch over all to prop. The idea there is like if you adjust dosages, you're going to see a change in your look quicker with prop in there, just because of the shorter ester. And I don't know, that's just what Blue has me do. Orals, like Blue has me run my Winstrol for a while. Like he'll start at like 8 weeks out at like 25 mgs, so like pretty low. And he'll kind of like gradually ratchet up the Winstrol and the Proviron up to as high as 100. And then I'll do, starting at 2 weeks out, or excuse me, 4 weeks out, I'll do 10 mgs of Halo and 10 mgs of Superdrol pre-workout. At 2 weeks out, I'll bump that up to 20. And then no Anavar or any other orals in there, but like, yeah, so Proviron, Winnie, Halo, and Superdrol are like the four. This year I'm gonna be doing things a little different. Like I won't start the Winstrol and the Tren and all that crap quite as far out, because gonna have a longer season, and I'm gonna have those in the mix for longer overall. So the dosages are gonna be lower. And I'm probably gonna have, instead of, I'll run my Tren up to like 500 at the end. Don't start there, but like you ratchet it up to there at like 500 2 weeks out. I probably won't go above 300 this year, and I'll have more Primo in. I've done Primo in the past, but I didn't last year. But I'm gonna have that in the mix to kind of like make up for less Tren, basically.
Did your volume just drop? Did anybody hear that?
Hello?
Is it just me?
No,
Yeah, I got a little bit lower.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just talk a little louder.
All right. But yeah, like I'm just gonna be running things a little differently now, because I'm gonna be doing more shows, and I gotta keep my shit together for longer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Takeaway here is everybody runs the same drugs, basically. With some
do you run
exceptions.
GH all the way through?
No, I'll drop that at
okay.
like 10 days out. I'll keep it in throughout the whole prepping, and then drop it at the end.
Do you drop tests?
Well, I stopped taking tests at like Sunday. And it's probe, so it's like it's getting down lower by the the day of the show. But I'll keep it until like 6 days out, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 8 weeks out, I'll drop 8 weeks out. I'll usually drop EQ, or maybe 6 weeks out, 8 weeks out, somewhere around there. I'll drop EQ, and then I'll add Trend. I'll add Mast. I might switch the EQ for Primo, or I might just not do Primo at all.
It depends on how rich you're feeling at the time, if you want to do Primo.
Basically. Yeah, I go by feel. If my body tells me, you need Primo, then I listen to my body. My body knows best. It'll be like, hey, take some Primo. I take some Primo.
Looks into the crystal ball.
Yeah, I touch it, feel it a little bit, and see what's going on. I'll add Witty. Sometimes I'll add VAR as well. Or sometimes I'll just stay on the orals I'm already taking. By 8 weeks out, I'm probably running like 50 Anadrol. If it kills my appetite, which is great, because I eat like a bird in prep. So Winnie, I'll probably stay on the Anadrol. So many drugs. It's hard to keep track. What other drugs we got? Obviously, I said Tren, right? Yeah, Tren, Mast, maybe Primo, Winnie, maybe VAR. I think that's it, right?
And you dropped your test out completely, right?
Yeah, so I like to run test E and P together. There's been times where I'll take out the test E, maybe 6 weeks out, and keep the test P. It'll be like 300 milligrams, and I'll keep it to like 2 weeks out, and I'll take out the test P 2 weeks out, which is, I know it's a bit extensive, because you don't need 2 weeks to get rid of Prop, but I got to make sure all that shit is out of there. Everything is out, all the water, everything got to be out for me. I usually don't pin anything a week out. Sometimes I keep Tren till like the Wednesday. Sometimes I take it out. I remember one time I ran Tren all the way to like Thursday, and I held a little bit of water, and I was like, when I asked John Reagan, he was like, yeah, some people hold water on anything. It doesn't matter what it is, just the inflammation from the shot, or it does increase prolactin. If you could take Caber, but sometimes it still hold water. So then I usually cut it out a little earlier. What else? If I'm on E alone, I'll take out E 6 weeks out. Like I said, once again, extensive, but my body doesn't change. I just look a little bit drier. I don't get super flat, besides
And then
this
you
year.
take every aromatase inhibitor known to man.
Yes. So I always do high estrogen blockers, but last year was the most I took, right? Which is, should I say it again, or is that people are going to try to copy it and
Dude,
end up in the
no one's gonna try and
hospital?
copy that shit. I'm sorry. Like,
You probably can't. You couldn't get. You might not get out. You can't get out of bed if you
yeah.
tried it. So yeah. So I basically did a double dose of Arimidex, double dose Novadex, double dose Letrozole, double dose exemestane. So 2 milligrams Arimidex, 40 milligrams. You get the picture. Did I feel like shit? Obviously, I felt like shit, but I felt like shit anyway. So it's like feeling more like shit at that point is irrelevant for me. At that point, it is what it is, So yeah. What else we got? Oh, Halo Proviron 2 weeks out. No, Proviron. I usually start Proviron maybe 8 weeks out. Sometimes I'll do it for the whole fucking diet. I might do it 12 weeks out. Compton had me do it like the whole diet before.
I know.
Halo.
I mean, Compton worked with Haney for a while, right? And Haney is really big on Proviron, like high.
He does it all year sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but like his guys have like a certain kind of polished, clean look to them. And I think that must be from the Proviron. I don't know if that's actually real, but yeah.
I think Haney does it rebound and the diet, maybe even off season, but it gets pretty high. I think
it's not toxic. It doesn't it's not going to impact your liver at all.
Yeah. So I'll do Proviron quite a bit. I got to be honest. By that point of prep, I couldn't even tell you how much milligrams. I'm just popping that shit. I'm popping that bitch. So Halo comes 10 milligrams, right?
Yeah.
Usually,
I get up to. I've been up to like 30 milligrams, but like I said, I don't necessarily feel like I look better or worse on more. So I like to just take your normal basic doses, just your basic stuff. So did I cover everything? Okay, GH usually comes out for me like 4 weeks out. Once again, a bit extensive.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Once again, a bit extensive, but like like I already repeated, I got to be a bit extensive is what I learned myself. But maybe not every angle. Maybe cut out the test early, GH early, but maybe not bring my estrogen to negative 500. Maybe I could leave that at 0. So
yeah, I don't know what it is, but like even when you drop out test, like you'll still hear that people like they start taking more estrogen blockers, even though theoretically there's nothing in them that would be aromatizing, and they still look better.
They still get harder. Yeah.
Explain that to me. I don't know, but
bodybuilding is not textbook. It's by field.
What works for you, right? So I mean, my coach Andrew loves to pull out his test, and he runs growth all the way into the show, even up to like he'll even load like Friday and Thursday doing like 18 units of Serostim. You know what I mean? But he looks. But for me, you know what I mean? It's like I like to keep my test in. I can use some Superdrol and that, you know what I mean? Where some people can't do that kind of stuff, right? Or they got a polar test, or they got to use Test Pro. So it's all about finding what formula works for you and your specific body, right? In my opinion, because like some of us help being fuller, some of us are going to need help being drier, harder. You know what I'm saying? Whereas me and Stu get pretty hard, so we're going to be able to use like maybe something like Superdrol or something like that, or keep growth hormone in longer, or keep the test a little bit higher towards the end. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Zay gets pretty hard too. Don't leave Zay out.
Oh, my bad, dude.
No worries.
No,
But I never
All the
heard
Halo.
about a lot of GH before the show. That's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a jump.
Why did you use Anadrol during your peak week? You mentioned Anadrol?
Me?
Yeah.
No, not my peak week. I was saying 8 weeks out. I'm probably still on it because I usually go from off season into prep.
Hmm.
So I might start it like 12 weeks out, and then I'll take it out maybe 6 weeks out, something like that.
I have
you're
heard
looking,
some people will carb up and take Anadrol while they're carving up.
I do that
I've
with
tried that.
Superdrol. I think you're way better off doing Superdrol in that situation than Anadrol because like people just hold way less water on Superdrol generally. Personally, I'm not going to use it this year just because again the toxicity buildup. I don't want to be doing Superdrol and Halo, two notoriously toxic compounds for extended periods of time like that. But just Halo, I think I'll be okay.
I did carb up. I carved up on Anadrol and potato chips that year Stu won, and I think we all saw how that look came out. I was full. I was full, right?
Between prejudging and finals in 22, did you eat a lot?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, because I remember seeing you. I didn't notice it at prejudging, but like at finals backstage, like you were just standing around there, and like I didn't know you at the time, and I was like, your fucking gut was hanging, like it was out there, bro.
Yeah, I didn't place, bro. If I don't place, it's about to be a buffet. It's not what you should do because some people say the judges are looking. I don't think they're looking that hard.
No,
but you probably shouldn't come with a gut. But at that point, I didn't care. Bro.
I just had to ask because that like sticks in my mind, like because you had a tiny waist, and like I only remember seeing you in finals, and was like, what the fuck happened to his stomach?
He ate.
It wasn't that tiny. It wasn't that tiny from afterwards. But I also my body can change very quick, bro. Like I could legit go. I could probably gain 20, 30 pounds between prejudging and the finals next because it's morning and the following day at night. I could put on 30 pounds for sure.
30? Right. Jeez.
Yeah. That's being mild, Zay. All right. That's it. Everybody went?
I think so. Yeah, we all use the same shit, dude. Beatty gets wild with the getting dry stuff, but I mean, less is more or something. What are you supposed to say to sound responsible? Less is more.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to say. Yeah, all right. Is it worthy to buy Is it worth it to buy training programs like example, Mountain Dog training? I've never used a specific training program. I just train however my body can recover. Have you guys ever used training programs?
I haven't, no. But like for someone who's really a novice to like training and understanding like what you're trying to get out of a session, like you're gonna have all your bases covered by like something like Mountain Dog training. His different programs will emphasize different things, like maybe one of them will focus on strength more, one of them will focus on like pump stuff more. But like I think it might be worthwhile for some people who are a little less experienced with that stuff.
I can see that.
Yeah, I think but at the end of the day, the problem is like the program's not going to teach someone intensity, like heart, or you know what I mean. I see a lot of when we were talking earlier about like guys that don't have great genetics, sometimes too, as a coach, I can ensure and be on someone's ass about eating the food and checking in, but at the end of the day, I can't be there over them watching them train, right? So I think some of these guys that are like, maybe I'll be like, oh, these guys don't really have the greatest response. I have to go back to their training and look at like, okay, like how are they? Okay, send me some videos. Let's see the intensity. Let's see, the technique, et cetera, et cetera. Where a lot of these guys, I'll be on them over and over again. It's like, okay, you still are not training hard enough. You know what I mean? So I think that's the key to the training is a lot of times I can get response. I mean, obviously we have great genetics, everyone in here, but I can get a response off of any program as long as I bring my intensity and my heart and my drive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of guys need to learn how to channel that. And then obviously, yeah, like a Mountain Dog program is going to be great for you. Or I've seen, there's some great programs out there, but they're only going to be like take you so far, right?
You guys ever heard of you guys
I think one of my best training resources, because I never bought any of these programs, but like I did watch a bunch of mountain dog training. Like I know what training hard looks like, and I watched a lot of Jordan Peters. He trains very hard. What does actual failure look like? And I'm not talking about like some 18-year-old on TikTok doing some performative like thing on the
that shit annoys me.
Fucking stupid. And they're trying to mimic what actual effort looks like, but they just look like spasms.
Bro, I see that at Zoo Culture. They're filming. They'll be like on the floor, like, oh my God, oh. I feel like grabbing them and flinging them out the fucking gym, bro. It's like you're acting. You're literally acting. Yeah,
these kids used to do theater and now they have Instagram and they're fucking, these are the theater kids. The ones who used to shove in lockers.
They're yelling and they're banging the weight. And I'm like, you have like half the stack on it. And you're like banging and clanking and yelling and fucking fake tears. That shit is so fucking annoying. It's super cringe.
At my old gym in Arizona, they, kids do that because they just see influencers doing it, right? They just started kicking kids out, doing like a third of the stack, less than my girlfriend, who's like $150, and they're like, they just started, dropping the fucking weights and stuff. And they got warned and they kept doing it and they got kicked out. Easy as that, fuck you. Like, don't treat the gym like that.
But I was looking at the questions and I saw Hadi posted an update and he looked pretty fucking nutty. Look at that. Ooh, look at that boy cooking. He doesn't even have triceps and his triceps look big.
What do you mean he doesn't have triceps?
You feel like Hadi has big? I mean, it looks big here, but I'm telling you, in general, doesn't have gifted triceps.
Well, they're not like the Kevin Levrone, like big and round or anything. But like when he hits a most muscular or a front double, you're telling me they don't point out there and look big? I mean, that's a big arm, bro.
They look big here. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, look, like that pose there.
It's
they're
popping.
Sticking out there
for sure. It's probably because his biceps are so big.
I won't let you slander my boy Hadi like that.
My bad, Hadi. Yeah, his biceps. That's supposed to be a classic pose? But he looks
do.
Hadi is something else. All right.
You want to talk about engagement, like on Instagram? Bro,
he gets engagement.
He has some wild fans. They're enthusiastic.
Quite the engagement. Let's do a couple more. Or one more. Two more. How much do you guys enjoy seeing your clients suffer in prep? Be real. LOL.
I actually feel bad when I see them suffer. I'm checking on, like, how are you feeling? Like, are you dying right now? Because I know that there's kind of a line you got to dance with some of these guys where, like, if you push them too hard, they will break. Especially if they're, like, early on in their career and they haven't done it multiple times. I feel bad, dude, when I make people hungry.
I won't lie. When you're a coach and you're a bodybuilder too, when I'm in prep, I'm way more harsh. I don't know about you guys.
Oh my bro. Stu said that earlier. He was like, Beatty, you're a nice guy. I feel like your clients. And I'm thinking, I am a nice guy, but in prep, bro, I'm an asshole, bro. I'm a fucking asshole.
Patience a little bit. Not quite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What was the question again?
If you're hardcore with the clients at the very end. It depends on the why. If someone is doing it for just to do it, I'm not very stressed. If someone is giving it their all, like you said, I'll pat them down for a bit. Hey, that's okay. It's okay to feel this way. It's just a week, and you become a therapist more than a trainer.
Yeah. I don't like when they suffer, like mentally, emotionally. That I don't like
terrible.
At all.
That's just gonna get in the way of shit, man.
Now, like if I'm in the gym with them and they're suffering through the workout, I kind of like to see it. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like if you're able to push that hard while feeling so shitty, it makes me believe in you more. I don't like get off on it, like Queen of Pain. I don't get off like I don't think Stu saw that episode, but I don't get off on it. But it's like it makes me proud. You know, I'm like, yeah, they really want it. I love seeing that in the same. But the question was, do you enjoy it? I don't know if I enjoy it, but it makes me proud. I'll say that.
Yeah, I kind of like got to get over it mentally sometimes too, because like what I have to do in prep is not as hard as like what a lot of guys do. I've never done 2 hours of
Yeah.
cardio in my life. I'll never have to.
No, you won't.
But some people have to do that. You know, they got to go an hour plus sometimes, and like, ooh, it's a lot, bro. They got regular
Actually,
lives too. You know, they got to go to work. They got kids and all that shit.
I had a girl do 3 hours of cardio, but she was cheating on her diet and she wouldn't stop cheating.
She
So
probably wasn't doing 3 hours of cardio either.
Yeah.
whatever she was doing more than she was doing a month ago. So fuck it. But yeah, she definitely wasn't doing 3 hours of cardio. I've had people like I'll kind of test people. I'll be like, yeah, I want you to keep your heart rate at 150 to 180 for an hour and a half, and they'll be like, done. I did it, and I'm like, yeah, lying motherfucker. You did not do 100. You did not do an hour and a half of cardio.
No, you can't do that.
100. So it's like, no, I checked it. I'm like, send me the video. Take a video. You didn't do it. Yeah, you're not Usain Bolt, and even Usain Bolt, his shit would be low because his heart is so fit. Honestly, that close to the show, I don't believe you can even get your heart rate up to 150.
Because
So
you get acclimated to that cardio. It's a training stimulus for your heart and your whole body. You get like I noticed like when I start on the stairs, I'll start out at like 130, 135. It comes down to like 125 within a couple weeks. I just get better at
yeah.
stairs.
So they're lying, man. People they're more prone to tell you the truth after prep. During prep, they're not gonna tell you they cheated until afterwards when they get last place. They're like, all right, man, I'll tell you. Okay, yeah, I cheated. You know, but it's like, that would have been more important to come to terms with while you're in prep.
You get a feeling too, because like you said, if you're doing something for a client and they're doing something very hard and you know it's extremely hard because we've been through it, and they're not complaining or giving you any, oh no, it's great, let's keep going. Okay, sounds good. It's like, nah, you're probably full of shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like if someone's eating 5,000, if you have a client that's eating like 5,000 calories plus, and they're not complaining to you sooner or later about like, oh man, this is really hard to get this food done, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you're probably not eating the food. And obviously you're matching the pictures, check-ins with like what's going on.
And then like on the check-ins, I'll be like, how's the appetite? And they'll be like, good. I'm like,
Yeah,
you lying sack of shit. Your appetite is not good on 7,000 calories. Stop fucking lying to me. And you're still lean and shit. I'm like, bro, let's cut the crap. What the fuck are you eating? Just because I'm trying to help you here, you know. But
Hey,
all right, last question.
Before you go on, hey Stu, during prep, do you cut your vaping down? Like cut down on the vaping?
I used to only do this shit when I was dieting, but my girlfriend just vapes all the time now. And so
I had to lower down my consumption during prep just to increase my posing endurance. It used to. For sure, I always feel it. If I vape a lot, I can't hold the poses for longer.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never felt that.
I haven't noticed that myself, like any actual lung issues from it. I mean, it's a shit habit. Like I need to stop. I'll probably quit here before prep starts. And
quit right now on the podcast. Just quit right now.
All right, yeah.
It's over. It's done with.
Garbage.
Boom. Done deal. No. On fucking off season, I don't do anything. Like, I mean, I do steroids, but like I don't do any like smoking, any weed, any vaping. But in prep, bro, man, give me some of that. Give me some of that phentermine. Give me that weed. I'm smoking all fucking. When it gets miserable, let's be real. If you were on 500 milligrams of fucking AIs, you would be smoking too. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's like on fucking 1,200 calories. I gotta smoke to not feel like an animal. At that point, I'm not a human being. I'm like an object or some shit. I'm not me, bro. I'm lost. So backstage, if you compete with me backstage, please don't take it personally. I love you, but I'm not a human being at that point. You can't expect me to act like a human being. Joe mentioned it. I didn't even notice that. Like I didn't even think it didn't even cross my mind. But he's like he's my friend, and he didn't say anything to me. I didn't even think about it because I didn't care about Joe. I'm trying to fucking survive to the next hour. Like I can't function. So he's probably like, what the fuck? Why is this guy like ignoring me? I didn't even notice you there. I'm just fucking. So honestly, I'm high.
I'm not even on that many estrogens, and I feel the same way at shows, so don't feel bad. Like I'm not like as talkative. I'm just like there. I'm like, you know what I mean, type thing. Like zoned out. Like whatever, you know.
It must be weird about that then, because like when I get super exhausted at the end, I could talk to you for like an hour. Like just really? I'm just happy to have some company. Yeah. Like I'm so tired that I'm like, oh, what the fuck? This isn't bad. This is a way to pass the time, chat with my friends or whatever. Yeah.
What? I'm really interested.
I'm the guy who's praying, dude. I'm literally praying backstage just because I got all my homework done. I start praying until I go on show. You know.
Alhamdulillah.
I want to see Zayd yell like Allahu Akbar before it goes off stage.
I was about to
see what people do.
You bring the carpet with you, Zayd?
It would blow up, bro.
the mat, yeah. Zay have the mat backstage, so he does his prayers on the
mat. I don't know if you know that I'm not a Muslim, bro. You keep.
I know. I know you're not a Muslim.
You're a Muslim on this podcast, okay? They're closest we got.
Okay.
I'm actually. I was raised Muslim, but once I started selling fentanyl, I haven't been Muslim since.
One day.
What I was gonna say? What was the topic just now before we
I was
switched
telling
over?
you, I'll be praying before the stage, so I won't be neither talkative or mad.
Wait, who are you praying to if you're not a Muslim? Are you praying to Jay Cutler or something? You got a shrine to him behind you.
Bodybuilding guys.
I believe in God. I just don't believe in religion.
God is Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
Wait, but were you raised Muslim or you weren't raised Muslim?
Yeah, my family are still Muslims. Yeah, they still give me shit about this shit. But
I was gonna ask that. Does your mom give you a hard time?
No, she threw the Quran in my hands when I was there in Dubai. She's like, "Read it."
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
I think
that's okay. You know, she wants the best for me. I understand. You know?
I think my mom gave up on me, but like she every once in a while, like she'll still send me like Eid Mubarak on Fridays. You know, your mom does that.
Yeah,
she'll send me that, but that's about.
She asked me if I still fast in Ramadan, and I'm like, yeah, mom, I'm fasting.
Bro, best answer. You know, are you still praying? Yeah, you know, sure, you can say so. You can say I'm praying 5 times a day. Maybe once a week, you know, in my head, but close enough. Close enough.
Yeah.
All right.
But ever since I grew up, she backed off. You know,
I mean, you kind of have to. Yeah, you kind of. It's just listen. They love you. They care about you, but it's a different time, man. It's a different world. It's a different time. My dad used to at work. They would give him like breaks to go pray. Man, this man would be like in his room, like fucking on his phone or some shit. But he would take that full 10 minutes to give him 10 minutes breaks throughout the day. So when I started working that job, I did the same thing. I thought, yeah, I'm Muslim. I'm gonna need 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
5 times a day.
Go eat or some shit. All right, last question. Let's see. Wait, what? How many times have you watched one? I don't like that one. Yeah, let's do not bodybuilding. I feel like we did a lot of bodybuilding this show. Favorite movie and your favorite scene from that movie. That's a hard one.
So I will say,
huh?
I'll go ahead.
You go
ahead. So there's a really good movie on Netflix I've watched like a bunch of times. It's called The Wrong Missy. It's hilarious. You guys should check it out.
Comedy?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's awesome. For David Spade.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what the hell that is. What's your favorite scene?
Oh man, well, So pretty much this chick is just crazy, and like he ends up dating the wrong girl. So you'll have to check it out. But it's hard to say like what scene. So she's in the bar with this guy in the beginning, and she pretty much plays this prank and says that she's this other girl because she's never seen her. It's a blind date. So he goes up to this other girl, starts hitting on her like she's the date. But then this big black dude walks over and is like, "That's my girl," and he's like, so he sort of sets it up, and it's pretty funny. You guys should watch it. It's hard to.
I'm gonna write it down. What is it called?
The Wrong Missy.
Oh, Wrong Missy.
Yeah, you'll be laughing the whole time.
Wrong Missy. Okay. Casino. Casino is the movie with
Yeah.
What's the actor's name? I'm drawing a blank.
De Niro?
Yeah, De Niro and what's the other guy? The short guy's name?
Pesci, right?
Yeah, and then he was like, I'm trying to remember the line. I'm gonna crack your head open, and then I'm gonna go to jail. And just by the time I'm getting paroled, you'll be coming out of the hospital, and I'm gonna bust your fucking head open again when I get out.
Right?
Yeah, I completely butchered that line, but the way he said it, that shit hit home. Basically, he gonna fuck you up, go to jail, and he's gonna be coming out when you come out the hospital, and he's gonna do that shit all over again. Basically,
that's good, right, B?
Huh?
That's good, right there, right?
Exactly. That's my kind of shit, right
like
there.
New York, they'd be like on spot every time I see you.
Like, on the spot, yeah. On the spot. On site, right? On site. All right. Let's go, Stu.
Yeah, there's a lot of good movies to choose from, but have you guys ever seen The Machinist with what's his fucking name? Christian Bale in it?
No.
It's 20 years old now, but so like he's like this insanely skinny dude. Like he literally like starved himself down to like 130 pounds for the role. And it's like a psychological thriller movie. And I think like the best scene from it is like at the end when he realizes like the whole plot twist, which I won't spoil, but it's a fucking crazy good movie. Highly recommend that. Oh, and Interstellar. There's a lot of good scenes in there, like when he's like looking back in time at like his kids and stuff. Those are pretty good. But
what's that movie called with Leonardo DiCaprio? Where he's in that
Inception.
Inception.
No, not that one. This is the old one.
Oh, Shutter Island.
Yeah, bro, that shit was crazy.
I forgot the plot twist in that. I watched it when I was like really young, and I forget it. But
well, he's not.
I'm
sure.
not gonna.
Well, yeah, he's like not sure if he's a patient or not, and it sort of fucks it the whole time.
Yeah,
like, is this guy a patient here, or is he visiting, or?
It's insane. I mean, if you haven't seen it now, fucking 20 years later, you might not get to it, but it's definitely check it out.
Still worth it. So that's a great movie.
That's a really good movie. What's that other guy in the movie? The one that plays the Hulk? The actor, his co-star. He plays the Hulk in the Marvel movies.
What's his name? Mark something.
Oh,
Mark,
yeah.
Buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah, not Wahlberg.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I call him Buffalo, but it's Ruffalo. Let's go, Jose. What's your favorite movie?
I mean, it's not my favorite movie, but one of my favorites is Crank for Jason Statham. Remember when he has a battery for a heart, and they jolt him, and he had to fuck a girl in front of everyone, so his heart won't stop. That scene was hilarious, dude. You should go back and check it out. It was one
I've
of
never
my...
actually seen that movie. I just saw the trailer and it was like, this is fucking ridiculous. I want to watch it. You know?
Yeah, the first one is amazing. You should see it. It's funny.
There's like 4 of them too.
Why? I feel like Jason gets a pass to play the same exact character every movie.
Oh yeah. So does The Rock. I mean,
Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson does the same movie 100 times. He's the same. It's the same thing.
Hey, it's a living, bro.
Yeah, The Rock. Yeah, you're right. The Rock. He tries to make it look like it's a different character, but it's just The Rock. That's all it is. You know.
Yeah.
Denzel, not really, but Denzel always kind of acts like Denzel. but he's not actually Denzel. But it's, you know, his manner is kind of the same Denzel character, but a completely different character at the same time. All right, I think we're good to go, gentlemen. It's been 2 hours and a half. It's only been 2 hours.
Yeah, bro, I gotta eat. So
yeah, me too. All right, thanks for coming on, Nate, Nasty Nate, and thank you guys, and we'll see you guys. Do we need to stay on, or are we good to go?
I gotta go eat. I can't stay. Sorry.
All right, get out of here, Stu. Nobody wants to see you anyways.
I know.
All right,
See ya.